What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Almost Never podcast. I'm Josh. This week we're talking about the new Quiet on the Set doc on Netflix. What do you guys think about that? It's kind of crazy, right? We're talking about the bridge collapse in Baltimore and all the YouTube University engineers that are giving their input. This week we're talking about earthquakes. Jersey got a 4.8 and Taiwan got a 7.4. East Coast, pull it together, and Taiwan, hope you guys are doing all right. We're talking about Dune 2. Have you guys seen it yet? Sean has finally seen it. This week we're talking about the 99-cent stores closing all across the country. R.I.P. We're talking about World Central Kitchen. Man, all our hearts go out to those people suffering Gaza. I can only pray things get better. This week we talk about J. Cole and his Might Delete Later album? Mixtape? EP? Regardless, what do you guys think of it? And we talk about Cowboy Carter, my album of the year. What do you guys think? We're talking about HBO Max's new documentary, Quiet on the Set. It's crazy. What do you guys think? Have you watched it yet? Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for all your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can find us on any social media platform that matters at Almost Never Pod on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And thanks. Uncle Sam doesn't want, or is, what was it?
Oh, the TikTok?
I was hoping that like we'd get like Chinese people because it's like
Yeah. Anti-America. Just for the record, Mr. Freeze was the worst Batman.
Mr. Freeze.
Well, that's
George
Clooney. Clonesy.
Well, yeah, that's natural. Sup. Welcome, everybody, to the Almost Never podcast, where every episode, three friends delve into the world of pop culture, art, sports, and politics. And we also dissect topics that men almost never get to talk about, like mental health, relationships, and masculinity. I'm your co-host, Josh, and as ever, I am joined by my lovely friends, Sean, at Sean Corey Pickering on Instagram, and Trey, at Doja the Producer.
That was a great illustrious intro, man. I like that.
I aim for illustrious.
I think I've noticed that you like the word illustrious.
I do, because it's like it brings me to my roots, like Jheri curl juice. The
Illustrious.
Is it? Oh, I get it. I see it. Yeah.
The
yeah.
luster.
Does that mean is this signaling that you're at the end of your long hair era?
I
Trey
hate
with the
it,
Jheri
but
curl.
no, I'm not gonna cut it right now.
Ooh, Jheri curl Trey.
All ice tray.
That'd be good.
I think I'm gonna hit up Jules to have it like chop off maybe in like a couple weeks.
How low?
Like just maybe like
To the ears?
yeah, below the ears, maybe like at
What
the,
kind
at
of
the
style?
chin. Probably like this, but shorter, and have her work her magic and shit.
Okay.
He comes back with like an undercut. It's completely different. Something like that.
Just like what I had like 7 years ago.
You should just chop it and get a fade.
I've just had like fades for my whole life, so I'm like,
You have.
It's in that realm where like if your hair is super short, you don't really have to do it. If it's super long, you don't really have to do it. But once you get into like the maintenance area, undercuts and fades, you gotta keep it up.
yeah, undercuts, especially with Asian hair. I remember the first time I went to Italy with like Jimmy and Nufo, shout out. Like we went to the red, or we were looking for the red light district in Rome.
Nice.
Wanted to
Very nice.
get Jimmy a super
with
fun
it?
time.
Jimmy with it.
Get-
And then
Jimmy with it.
then we were like, oh, we couldn't find it where we were like the place we went to. We got dropped off. It was like industrial district in Rome, and I was like, this is not it. I don't think. But then we were looking for strip clubs, and I don't think strip clubs like are a thing in Europe.
What do they have?
Well, we went to what looked like a strip club. We went there and we walked in, and it was like empty. And then like it's because it reminded me when we were talking about hair. It was empty, but there were like all these women there. And then they were like, oh, like, hey, what's up, guys? It'll be like 200 euros a head.
Brothel.
And I was like, oh, this isn't a strip club. It looked like a classy strip club inside, but it was not.
You should have just started throwing money.
Well,
They just pick it up and they're like, all right, thanks. I don't know what that's about.
but I remember this this woman walked up to me and she like ran her hands like through my hair just like that.
How'd that make you feel?
I mean, I felt bad because like my hair, I had the undercut, but I had a perm.
My hair was dirty.
And I was oiling the shit out of it, so it looked kind of like a Jheri
She's
curl.
like, "I got
So
mad
she was like,
product."
she went like that, and my first thought was like, damn, she just got a handful of oil right now, and I was like,
Sorry, love. Sorry.
I just felt bad. I was like, and we're not staying,
That's
so
hilarious. Yeah, that's the thing
bye.
with the Jheri curl. Like, don't touch it, you'll get wet. Or people
Yeah.
always have the wet shoulders with Jheri curls.
Because I always like I would see those and I was like, dude, that looks so cool, and I didn't realize like I thought their hair was just so healthy and shiny, but it's not. It's dripping,
It's just dripping.
dripping with oil or pomade or something. You know?
You gotta put like the boiling crab shits on your shoulders.
God. Like, sir, that's a bib. No, it's for my hair.
It's for the drips.
Yeah. Yeah, I just found out. So prostitution is legal in Italy and it's common, but in Rome specifically, it's looked down upon because it's a religious city. So people have a weird attitude about it in Rome. Specifically.
Wasn't the one with leprosy? Wasn't she a prostitute?
What?
The one
Mary
who washed
Magdalene?
Jesus' feet.
Mary Magdalene?
Is that
Yeah.
Mary Magdalene?
Mhm.
I don't know.
I don't think she had leprosy.
She had, yeah, I don't remember that.
That
part
was
of the
another
story.
one.
He was friends with
Lepers.
lepers
That was
and,
another one.
and-
No, yeah,
and-
the one who washed his feet. She was a prosto.
Oh yeah, that's like
That's
that
the
was the whole
story.
thing. It was because he was like he was a man of the people.
Did you send me the thing where it was like the make believe? It was like a
Avatar?
Mary. No, it was like Mary and Joseph on
Maury?
on Maury. It is not your baby.
She's like, yes. And she runs away. She's like, no. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Or the black avatar, Blavatar.
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that? I thought I sent you Blavatar.
No, I have not looked at it.
It was like a Nigerian spoof of Avatar. So there, so instead of like the blue tattoo, then it's cut an arrow into his like hair.
I was wondering which avatar you're talking about.
That's
That
fine.
Avatar. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was funny.
On that note, how was your past 2 weeks?
Bullshit.
Okay,
Do tell.
care to elaborate?
Just work's been like ridiculous, and
I see.
yep, and just been having to do stuff I don't want to do, and then yeah, so it's just like, dude, like our water main line broke the other day, and me and my boss have to fix everything. So like, I literally came to work at like 6:30 in the morning with like a parking lot just like 3
Underwater?
inches full of water.
Do you got to get the
Oh,
diggers
God.
and like?
We have all that stuff, so it's like I literally just looked at it and I just knew what my day was.
You're like, well, here we go.
I didn't even turn off the water. I literally just opened the gate, went and put my boots on, then walked back out there with a crescent wrench, cut off the water, and I'm just like, sprung a leak, boss.
Looks like there might be a leak.
So we did spend a day chasing that, figured it out, fixed it. But it's just like stuff I don't want to do.
Are you currently seeking new employment opportunities?
No, because it's just like,
You sound like you were going to bring him into like the church.
No, because like, I honestly have a job, but it's like I don't do enough stuff to even make it feel like I have a job, which is nice because I feel like I'm getting free money in the sense. But then in the same sense, it's just like stagnation.
It doesn't sound like you're that thrilled about.
No, it's
going.
just the stagnation part of like free money is cool, you know what I mean? But like,
I don't know. The trade drive to learn and grow is pretty strong, though. I gotta say.
yeah, that's why I'm just like I just hate it. So we're figuring
That's
it
very
out.
hard. That's a very strong view, I would say.
Yeah, so we're just figuring out if we're like gonna be doing a fleet service thing because it's just ultimately we don't know what the owner's doing with the property, so we don't have a say so of what's going on yet. You know what I mean? We don't know if he wants to lease it out because he owns it right now. So it's like to him, he may just want to just sit on it and just.
That seems like a running theme. Is like nobody knows what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on.
The owner like has no idea. So it's like I told Sean he just bought a $150,000
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Jaguar like a month ago. Like so he's just spending money.
What kind? Oh, was it that XJ?
It was the anniversary one. Yeah,
Oh.
This was the last year they made it, so they only made 500.
I
so,
wonder if they're going to, because those are nice, but it's like
Yeah,
they're not like the most desirable
I think it's a
models.
V8.
They're cool looking.
It's cool.
I like how
looking.
they
Yeah,
look.
yeah, it's super cool looking, and so yeah. But other than that, like it's been doing a lot of yard work too, fixing my dad's yard. So just bullshit.
Garage.
And yard, yeah. The yard looks half dug up because it's just all fucked up. So I've been just literally doing manual labor. Not my best week.
Body's feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm not overexerting myself.
That's good.
It's manual labor, but not too strenuous.
It's not too strenuous. No, yeah. Just have to actually be doing stuff. But what about you?
Oh, I was going to ask first, like, body's okay. How's your mind?
Mine feels good, stronger than ever. I feel like it's ready for it's ready for something new. That's why I think I just getting restless at my job, because it's like most people would be like, "Oh, this is cushy." Like,
get a little antsy in your pants.
Sometimes I think though, like people want cushy, but like they don't really want cushy. Like you don't. If you're a person that thrives on inspiration. I mean, some like I don't know. I think maybe some people want cushy because their life is like set to like, this is my family, this is my house, I'm not trying to do much, boom, boom, boom. But if you're like trying to be inspired, cushy doesn't necessarily like push you to an edge to like
cushy
grow.
ain't pushy.
There you go. But you can push the cushy.
Yeah, cushion for the pushing.
Yeah.
I actually had that same thought too, because in my job, like in design, like I don't know if it's rare, but a lot of the major, bigger agencies that do a lot of numbers, like a lot of people, designers in particular, usually report that they hate working at these corporate agencies.
Companies.
Like I have a friend that works at a really big global firm, and he hates his job, is working like 14-hour days, having to work on weekends and shit. And I'm like, I don't want that. Like, I like the people I work with. I get to do cool stuff. Not every day, but I get to have like a voice within the company. I get to
That's cool.
influence designs and
thought
stuff.
real quick, because on that, I think California may be the first state to pass a law that would not allow jobs to contact you after your work hours.
Even if your salary? I'll look into that. You keep on going with your thought.
I didn't want to, I was going to say, don't quit yet, because maybe they can't call you after you get off your job.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. Oh, with that, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, because like I'm like, I looked at the median salary for my position. I'm like a senior designer at this point, and I'm getting paid below the average for the Los Angeles region. But I was like, oh, but I like my job. I like the people. And I was talking with Marlene, and I was like, but I don't think it's a given that if you go to a bigger agency and you get paid more, you're going to hate your job necessarily. And so I was like, maybe I'll, because I still look casually. I've always been looking, but maybe I'll actually apply if I see something cool. Because I've seen stuff come and go, like a graphic designer position for the Chargers, just doing like graphic assets. And I was like, doesn't hurt to apply.
It
Totally.
doesn't. That's kind of where I
Totally.
think we're in the same boat. Yeah, because now I'm just like,
If you have the skills, like, it
That's
doesn't hurt.
that's exactly. That's exactly.
I kind of think you should always, in that sense, and this is me saying it to myself too, you should always apply, because you don't have to take the job, but it's putting, like, you're telling your brain that there's more out there for you. And then if you receive it, you're also telling yourself, oh, this is the validation.
Oh, I am like,
this
worth
is the,
that much.
yeah, like this is validated now. There is more out there for me. And like, sign up for whatever the hell it is. Doesn't matter. Like, just so like, oh, I could, I think sometimes people don't realize like why people get stuck at jobs is because they have gone so long without this like recognition that I can't go do something else. Oh, there is something else out there. Like, I don't know about you, but like when the times I do apply for a job, when somebody hits me back, even if I don't care about the job, there is this kind of little thing like tight. Yeah, it's like cool. They saw me and they were like, hey, we could fuck with this dude. So yeah, I definitely think you should always do that.
Yeah, because like I am a small agency, and I know like if I asked for probably above the industry average, they're just like, we can't necessarily afford it. We don't have the money for it. And I was like, oh, well then that's cool. Like I like my job, but then I think at a certain point, I just kind of take. Yeah. I guess it's a settling thing. Like I viewed my job as the comfort, and everything else around that I can kind of experiment or do whatever. But yeah, I got presented with a couple of like opportunities to do some like design work on the side, some freelance stuff, some branding, some logo design. I was like, this sounds pretty cool.
That's dope.
I'm gonna talk to Courtney next week. She has a business she wants to get started, and she reached out. Shout out! Like, I'm very excited to help a friend.
Fuck yeah.
That's all it's
Develop
about,
some
man. Friends helping friends.
I actually have to hit you up about rebranding.
That's how it should be, at least. I mean,
All right then. Well, you know, where I live.
Yeah,
You have my number.
We've done work together before.
We've done work.
Yeah. To get back to your thing, yes, it's starting in San Francisco, of course. All laws in California start in San Francisco. It's breaking it down so it defines your 9 to 5 or your regular hours, and then not going beyond that. And if they do go beyond that, the company gets fined or something like that.
But that's like you have to report it to OSHA or whatever then, right?
I suppose so. It also doesn't say anything here about salary, which is the only thing that I would be like, how does that work in a salary?
that's what everyone was thinking. It's like, well, every good job, you fielding calls after you leave.
Yeah.
If you're a phony type, or not a phony, if you're on the phone type of person, sales, or you doing any kind of shit like that,
just take a look
when
at
the
an
phone
account
rings,
real quick or
rings,
something.
you gotta,
This kind of also like puts the employee in a bad position, because the only way that the law would be enforced would be by the Department of Labor. And so, yeah, you'd have to like show, oh, they emailed me, they text me.
No snitches.
But that's this new generation, right? The Gen Zers or whatever. They're like, I get off at 5, I'm off at 5.
It's funny because I completely agree with that, unless I'm okay with.
Of
like,
course.
you know what I mean? And that's I think that's
where
the difference.
salary comes in. I mean, I don't do anything normally, so I'm okay taking this call at 7 o'clock for 30 minutes because
or on the weekends or something.
Because I only worked 2 hours today.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the part where a lot of companies, where salary, I think this day and age, it doesn't seem to make sense, because the point of salary in my mind and how I was taught it is that you're being paid for your skill set and what you provide.
It's like you're indisposable.
It's like it's your production. It's not the fact that I'm showing up at 8.
It's not what you're doing on like that type of.
Yeah.
It's like how many hours you necessarily put
but
in
like
your skill set. Yeah.
It's what you can do.
That's how it should be. But I've worked every place I've ever been salary. You have to be there at a certain time,
of course,
and you have to clock out a certain time, but you still are on salary. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, there is leeway. I definitely am able to do a lot in the middle of my day,
and that's where the comfortability comes in. 'Cause that's my job. I'm salary, but I'm not salary.
Yeah,
I'm hourly, but I get paid the same amount of hours every week.
Totally,
exactly. If I'm there or not.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Did you hear? Sorry.
No, here.
That in California they're going to, I don't know if it's this year or next, implementing the law where fast food workers get paid $20 an hour.
This year.
But like independent restaurants and stuff, they don't have to pay 20.
That makes sense.
I think that's a good idea, because like I think that fast food is probably. I remember we talked about this before. It's a hardworking job, and it's like a thankless job. And a lot of times, depending, I guess, where it is, there's abuse against the employees by the customers and shit.
I think there's abuse everywhere, though.
Facts. And low-key, I'm only thinking of those employees as being like high school kids. And okay, I guess if we just want to give high school kids a little more money, that's fine.
Though I would say the McDonald's off of Haven never had high school. It was baby. Like, it was not.
It's adults.
Yeah.
No, I know, but in my head, that's why I preface that. In my head, I just see high school kids, which is cool. I mean, because you can't do anything off of minimum wage.
You can't do
even the highest minimum wage in the country.
You can't do it.
No.
So
because it's $14.75 or something over
so
here.
it's like, that is kind of cool.
$15.50,
if you go and get a job, because I mean, they're competing with, I guess, social media, right? Like, they're losing potential workers to games and all other kinds of ways of making money, right? So fuck it, give them some more money.
I think for me, also part of it is like, I don't think any of us really generally eat fast food on a regular basis, but I would say, not like that. But I would say, like, it's kind of crazy to see a meal at a fast food place for $12.
That's
like, that to me is like, and they're not paying people extra. So right now it's already that much money. And like, if you're bringing in that much money, then you should pay people more.
And that's more than inflation.
That's crazy to me. Like, and I also know that people at coffee shops do get paid. You get $7 coffee, but they're not being paid $15 an hour, kind of thing. Now, I think Starbucks is 20.
I would assume. I mean, I worked there for a week.
That was also like
Shout
15 years ago. No big deal, though. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, The awkward part about that, you know, you're talking about when we had the conversation first was like it's a hard job. I think that's kind of like, I think Trey was saying this, and it's almost as a slap into the face to people that do work hard jobs that don't get paid that. Because
that's why it came out of my mouth, but I framed it in the way that I hope that people could
I get it though. So but it makes
voice of the people.
It makes me though like want to look at like a lot of the jobs then and be like, well, you know, like how much are you paying like, you know,
agricultural workers? Definitely,
Yeah,
probably
totally.
the most exploited group of people in the country, I would say.
Manufacturing,
Yeah.
just manufacturing anything,
Textiles,
food, clothes, anything that to get
Oh,
things.
you've seen videos of people working at like Tyson Chicken, the factories.
Yeah.
Where they have to like debone a chicken in like 30 seconds and keep it sterile and whatever like that.
It happens. I mean, like, and it's not like good at all, but like, it's just
that's the system that we've made.
Okay, here's what's crazy for you.
Yeah.
Average wage for textile worker in the U.S. $24,000 to $37,000 a
Exactly.
year. That's
nothing.
that's
Unlivable.
That's poverty line,
That's
right?
below the
Isn't
poverty
that?
line.
Yeah. What's the U.S. poverty line?
Probably 45,000.
Per year. Which is, it's kind of funny because people like politically, when
Go off of those numbers.
raising taxes and stuff, and people like the candidates are like they're fighting
Doesn't
the people.
make
It's
sense.
like no, like a quarter of the country's under the poverty line. Like this is like not a bad thing, but it's identity politics and everything that kind of draws you into the
Sean
whole.
looks shocked. Let's see what he's got.
You're gonna be shocked.
Oh, it's 65,000.
No, dude.
100,000.
If you're a family, just
Oh, a family.
single person, 15,000.
Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck? Sorry, but
I didn't mean to laugh at the people that were doing that.
we decided to break it up into 4 different levels:
That's
low income, very low, extremely low, and then finally you get to federal poverty. But that's crazy.
15,000 per year.
15,000 per year for a single person.
Oh, that's well
what
because
can you even?
I remember like 15 years ago, I was working retail. And I was making like $14.75
But
an
you
hour.
were probably working 15 hours a week, right?
No, I was full
No,
time.
for it, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like
Oh, but that was because
I was like, I remember I told some other coworkers like, oh, I'm making this much. And they're like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm getting paid like 11, like 10 something an hour.
people
And I was like,
tripping out.
oh shit, was I not supposed to say that?
that was high then, huh?
Yeah, for like 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And because that wasn't minimum wage.
I know people don't look at these numbers a lot, but like
should.
the median income for LA County for families 98,000
That's for a family.
for a family, and that was a year ago, so it's like last year.
And that's
So
at least 2 people working.
Yeah.
It could be 2.5 because it could be a teenager and then it has a part-time job.
But here's
That's just like saying a dependent's probably not working.
honestly, I think that's a 3-person plus. That's a 3 plus family. Yeah, but
Because a family could just be 2 people, right?
yeah. But what's messed up is the initial low income level is 70,000, and then you don't hit poverty until 55,000 less
So it's 55 to 69.
Wait, that's for a family or for
for
one
a single person.
Holy shit! I'm like,
70,000 is the low,
flirting with-
very
I'm
low. That's what
I'm
dude.
flirting with broke.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm not flirting.
But
I'm
I mean, but that's
committed with
just
broke.
like
I'm a committed relationship with being broke.
deep investment into broke. Yeah, it 70,000 is the low. Very low is 44. Extremely low is 26.
Oh well, that's
26 to me should. I mean,
That's unimaginable.
what are you living? What are you doing?
well, because like isn't
You're in
isn't
high school, I
Fast
feel like.
fast food. It's like right now that's
That's what I
about
feel like. You're in high school if
or
you're making-
retail. It's like you're making 25,000 a
Yeah,
year.
you're working 20 hours, 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's what that number tells me. That can't be full time. Full time doing what?
I guess for like some things with a lot of automation and everything, when
In
it's
different
with
states,
with
yeah,
brick
you're
and
right.
mortar, like you can't
I don't know
replace
what you'd be doing.
But I don't
retail
know what you
workers
would be
to
doing.
a
Yeah,
certain
it's like-
extent. Like some parts in fast food, like
You can, but yeah, you're right.
You can replace with
Yeah.
automation and AI and whatever, but
But I told you guys, I was even tripping on how much my cousin was making in Georgia just to weld in a production line. I'm like, that's better than California money. It was like $35 just to weld. I was like, what?
That's
It's a
bringing
big
in.
weld?
I thought my hourly rate was a lot higher than it actually is because then I broke down and I was like, oh,
That's why they
that
put you.
much.
That's why they do salaries.
That poverty line would mean that you're bringing in $218 a week. So
About 800.
That does mean
850 a month.
every content creator.
I mean, it's if you broke it into a 40-hour work week, you'd be making $5.45 an hour. So I don't know what.
There's some states, I guess. That
No,
Oh, that is above.
unless
like
unless
Missouri
you're a waiter, because there's some states where like you
don't get anything.
you get knocked down to like $1 an hour
I
basically.
think some states you don't have to get nothing. You can just get your tips.
Oh yeah, there's no like. Oh,
Tip.
if you don't make enough, you get defaults to minimum wage. But if you, it's like
No, I
some
think
places
that's
are.
the California rule. I think
Some places are solely.
it's solely just tips for waiters. Like you don't get an hourly rate. You only get tips. But dang, I didn't know we're that bad, guys. Jesus.
Well, I mean, that's where the disparity I think just generally comes in, and that's
I'm all
why
trying to buy a go-kart and a mini bike.
I would.
Well, yeah. What are you
Yeah.
trying to ride these things just
my
on the
mind.
street?
That's what I said to him the other day. I was like, "You're gonna whip it out like every every quarter."
I told you the truth. I was like once a month. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like once a month.
I could see you doing the mini bike more than
than the
the
go-kart.
go-kart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mini bike's a reality. I already have two of them, and I'm gonna have more.
Is the
that run.
go-kart like an old school one with the roll cage and everything, or is
No,
it
no.
like
It'd be like a Mario Kart with drifter cart.
you're gonna have turtle shells or bananas?
Possibly. I want it to go fast. I want it to be a shifter cart.
Well, that's where you need to take it to the track to like make
Exactly.
it fun instead of.
Exactly.
That's what all these like Formula One people work.
Yeah, no, karting
learn
would be
on
like
karting.
I want a shifter
Karting.
cart. Karting would be dope for sure.
I'd sponsor you.
I believe it's the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend at
Really?
Suzuka.
Ooh.
It would be qualifying today, and I think the race is tomorrow, but I could be wrong.
And all that stuff's cool. I'm down with all that stuff.
All the stuffs.
All the stuffs.
No, yeah, you're
all
right.
The stuff.
Today is yesterday was qualifying.
Oh, so is it like?
Today's the race.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, there's I think yesterday then is Formula 2 and Formula 3 are racing. Holla.
You keep up with this stuff.
I listened to a podcast about it.
I
you go.
definitely.
If you listen to a podcast about something,
You're up to date.
you are very well informed. You know, an expert.
That's what my aunt thinks about ours.
She's like, this is what the kids are talking about. We're not kids, ma'am.
Don't get all your information from me.
I was going to
auntie.
say, I fear anyone who takes our podcast as valid information.
I wouldn't.
I mean,
say
there are
it's-
some good things.
I wouldn't say
Caught
it's like
the one.
completely false.
No,
but
we
it's
don't
definitely
fabricate.
not
No, it's all based in fact. It's like religion.
I mean,
So it's not.
hearsay.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, faith is the craziest thing to me because you're basically just admitting I have no proof, but I'm just gonna say yeah.
But if you gotta just believe, you know.
that's faith.
yeah.
Religion is based
Yeah.
off of, I guess, some facts, but faith is
have you guys felt weird any bit this week or last
solar
week?
equinox is coming.
Yeah, solar eclipse season.
No, I
I
felt
just
stronger
feel
than ever.
weird all the time. So
There's some crazy facts I didn't know about this, but there's actually like statistically throughout all of time, like people psychologically act weird and different. Animals act different.
it's magnetic fields, right?
Yeah, and also the solar waves and everything like that. So like everything like does actually affect you. And so there, when people say certain things, like, I mean, some of it's foobar, but like
Full moon.
like don't do business and around this time or like stuff
Oh
like
well,
that.
like
Don't make big decisions.
with the full moon, don't. Oh, not full moon, but new moons don't make new life decisions around because you could be a little acting off.
Yeah,
off the rip.
off the totally. And, I think first thing people like think it's kind of arcane. They're like, okay, that's a little foo-foo, but like then when you start, I think speaking about like frequencies, waves, you're talking about like magnetic fields and stuff like that. How all those things constantly just are affecting us, and like
There are like, despite what people think it's a little woo-woo, like there are to some extent scientific basis for a lot of these things. Like I've been listening to this one channel, Joe Scott on YouTube. He talks about like a lot of like scientific stuff, historical stuff, and they're like really short videos, like 20 minutes, but he'll dissect it and make it very easy to digest and like things like that. It's very interesting.
Do you think though we're too evolved away from that kind of stuff though to make it affect us?
Well, it's just like religion.
No.
Like we hold on to some stuff we view as archaic, but like because we are drawn to them, but in ways we can't explain necessarily.
I don't know where like there's like I guess psychological evolution, which I think is just what we decide we tell ourselves, and then we're like, okay, now we believe it until not. I know like biology in terms of evolution, like there are ways that we see it happen short term and long term. You have people now that hold their breath for longer than ever underwater and stuff like that because they're tapping into areas of the body that where the body could always do those things. We just never had them do it, push it to it. So like there's that kind of evolutionary process. But in terms of being further away from like the effect of the stars and the moon, I don't know if we as humans live long enough to actually live beyond that effect, if that makes sense. It's kind of like how like gravity every single day is pushing us down. Every single, like it literally is like, weighing on you. So it's the reason why people shrink over time. It's the reason why people like, the beginning of your day, you might be more elongated. At the end of the day, you're not. You have this actual weight compression. And I don't know if like
But we've learned how to fly.
Well, actually, like kind of thinking
feel
about
like you
that.
go to that one on anything.
Well, like one of Joe Scott's videos, he talks about like he was like talking about can people like how would the human body react to living on Mars and stuff. And besides like radiation and all that stuff, I didn't even know, but a lot of astronauts, if they're for not even that extended, but an extended amount of time, is like you lose your bone density because walking, putting weight and exercising gravity, like it triggers your body to like, oh, we need calcium, we need to build up bone strength in your skeleton and everything. So small things like that.
That's why they make the astronauts work out in space, because in 0G,
You have to like push, like you need.
You have to, or
I
you'll
think
get
also when they
atrophy
come
and-
back, you have like a physical therapy rehab of like the gentleman who was up in space for like a year.
Yeah.
I think like when he came back, it was like the water, like
He's drinking pee, isn't
therapy.
he?
I don't know.
Like you recycle pee, or maybe he drinks his own because like it's
No, I
flavorful.
think he had like
Could be
matcha
like Dune.
packets.
Dune, they drink
June.
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 Is it called June or June?
I think
Gin.
is that how they said it? I thought it was just Dune.
In Australia, I think
It's
they call it
June.
June. Somebody called June.
I mean, Dune, drinking their own saliva. and
Also,
spit.
doo doo. I think it's doo doo as well. No,
Aren't they all criminals in Australia anyway?
I mean,
historically, allegedly.
I think it's the same thing that they're all criminals. Like we're all from Genghis Khan. Like it is, but also it's.
But like we're runaways, they're criminals.
Well, we're religious zealots.
Who's we?
We?
Because all three of us
Three
have
fathers.
different
Our
stories.
three fathers.
Yeah. Which we, man?
We're Kanye runaways.
Have you done 23andMe? Or
No, because my
Is that
parents,
the
both my parents did. So my mom did. Yeah, so I
But like
It could be-
between even with like twins, you can have a different genetic
Dad.
makeup than the other one.
yeah. No, I mean, pretty much. I think like my mom's was basically like 65% Lebanon and like 30% Syrian, and then there was like a small amount that was from Africa because everyone's always going to have a little piece. From
Dang, did you
Africa.
hear about like Israel bombing the Iranian embassy in Damascus?
No,
Like destroyed it. Or no, consulate. It's the consulate, not the embassy.
I didn't.
They
I
fucking destroyed it.
I did hear about them.
I don't know where Damascus is.
Isn't it in?
Some country.
thought it was a steal.
It is. Oh, that's the cool textured looking one,
Well,
right?
it's full. It's a bunch of
Forge. It folded.
Exactly.
That's what they say. That's
It's basically the pastry of knives.
it's the croissant
Of knives.
of knives.
That's exactly what it is.
They don't make swords of that.
Syria,
Oh,
Damascus.
it's in Syria. Okay.
I'm
I
sure
think
it's
Damascus is
sincere.
one of the oldest cities in the world. I feel like longest running.
I wonder, is that where that still came from?
Probably.
Damascus.
Probably that's where they like
Yeah.
kind of. Where's
thought it was an
Type
Asian
of steel
thing.
used in Middle Eastern sword making. There you go.
Dang, bro.
And they did have some pretty dope swords, the long scimitars and stuff. That's maybe me being a little
Yeah,
bit.
Damascus steel is one of like
say,
the
that's a little
strongest
jungle.
knife steels, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it because it's like a certain amount of like carbon steel in it?
Yo, that's
like,
so
stainless
sick
steel
how
is
it
good for
looks up
knives.
front,
And
up
I
close.
believe.
Oh, I got
it's
a
'cause it's
couple
all
knives in the kitchen like
It's
that.
the wavy shit because
Looks like
basically
wood.
It's basically what it is. So basically, they start with like a block, right, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
And they get the block real hot, and they beat it until it gets kind of flattered, and they fold it, and they keep on repeating that just like a croissant, and that's where that
You
comes
said it
from.
mildly French, right?
I know,
there.
right? And that's where that comes from.
I think we beat it into Trey's head enough to like try on certain words now, but don't like overdo it.
He was almost there. He was
you
almost
just
at
gotta
croissant.
just
He
run
said
through it quick, like I
croissant. Croissant. He was almost there. Man.
There was no oui. There was no like enchanté.
Well, now we get it.
that's why that still looks like that.
Damn, you sound. I just realized when you do the ha, you remind me of Keenan and Kel. When Keenan does the bakery dude, yeah.
You sounded real French right now.
Yeah. Speaking of Keenan, I think he finally made his statement about
He's been
about
touched?
the quiet on the set. No, he said he never saw. He said he was one that never saw anything.
He's too big. He's on SNL.
But he did make a statement about it, like for because he was told he was there throughout the whole time of it. But I don't know enough about the quiet on the set thing. Do you guys know?
Marlene explained like a lot of the happenings, but you watched it. So
Yeah. Well, the main thing, quiet on the set, is mainly focused around 3 specific, let's say, offenders.
Goonies.
Yes. And they were employed by Dan Schneider, which he's getting the main heat. But quiet on the set didn't necessarily focus at all on his actions. So I don't even know if he was doing stuff bad, but these 3 guys were doing heinous things, and the one with Drake Bell was just the worst.
Yeah, I feel bad like even saying anything like disparaging just because like I didn't know any of that, because this is the first time he's speaking out about it, right?
This is the first time he's come out, because he was always labeled as the John or Jane Doe in all of the filings,
because he was a minor. They redacted his
identity. But yeah, so I mean, this has literally affected everyone that, I wouldn't say everyone, but it's affected people that we've all seen on the screen growing up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, the ASMR.
Sounds nice. Well, I was talking with Marlene
yesterday. We all know at least some of these victims.
I feel like
from seeing their
50% of the people who are big names in Hollywood right now, they went through Nickelodeon or Disney.
Well, the biggest
like
right
Ariana,
now,
Ariana,
yeah, dude.
Raven,
just
Zendaya.
She
went through it.
Yeah, she was on there.
She was on Disney Channel.
I mean, they had like the whole all that cast.
Keenan.
Keenan.
Did he say anything about racism on set? Because I heard that covered a little bit. A
little bit was, there was like a black kid whose parents were kind of like looking at some of the stuff funny that they had him doing. Like, there was a skit where they made him be covered in peanut butter, and they had dogs licking it off of him. And I mean, these are like 12-year-olds. So I'm like, when you're watching this, you're just like, oh, that's crazy. But
stuff I was doing with peanut butter at 12, I didn't even want to know.
You know what I mean? So it's just like,
Dan Schneider was the head. He was the top
showrunner.
Producer. But he isn't the one, like, he getting scrutinized, but he's not the direct one being scrutinized.
I believe it's the main thing is Brent guy or something with the Drake Bell.
I think a lot of it is like he facilitated a culture of like not just misogyny, but like taking advantage of these actors.
Because one of the guys, he was already a convicted sex offender.
Oh, one of the people
of the 3. Yeah, he was already, and they employed him, and
they're in positions of power, right? Like, or at least have direct access.
These are all direct access with the kid. Like, one of them was an acting coach for the kid. Like, these are all direct, handlers with these people, and you know what I mean. Like, it's crazy. Like the one with Drake Bell, like he was making him. I mean, he forced a wedge in between Drake's mom and dad to the point where he was able to like facilitate taking them and picking them up, and
like he made him like forsake his dad as manager, right?
But the dad had a feeling something was going on, because the dad was his Drake's manager up until I think he was like 14 or 15, to where the manager or this dude kind of split the wedge. But he always had like a little feeling, because he'd go to every set, everything. He's like, this ain't right.
Trying to be a good dad, but he can't. He didn't see nothing.
He didn't see anything directly, because he was there and making sure, but he was just like, this isn't. Stop feeling right. So once Drake kind of went with his mom, and his mom wasn't too attentive with this stuff, that's when, and then.
So this dude Brian Peck,
There you go.
is the acting and dialogue coach.
There you go. It's that guy.
And he's and Drake Bell accuses him. And this guy, Brian Peck, is accused or arrested for sexual abuse against and lewd acts on children in 2003. And
This is about that time.
and so this was after that?
The Drake stuff's
After that. So that's when you were saying that they hired somebody that was
yeah, it's crazy. Like, and it's just like
a registered sex
registered
offender.
sex offender.
The statute of limitations 25 years.
Well, he shouldn't be around kids. Like,
No, but I'm just saying, like, I hope that these could still stand to where they could go after
Probably.
him again
I
if he's
mean-
not already in jail.
but that's what I was
or something,
Oh, I know what
saying.
you're talking
Dan,
about, yeah.
Dan Schneider's right now saying he didn't do anything.
That's what this was saying.
He's
He's
adamantly saying he's like, say it what you will. He's like, I didn't do nothing. True or not, I have no idea. But the documentary focused on these three other guys.
I think maybe too, like maybe he, maybe he paid him off, or like, or maybe
Definitely
he's like,
at the least facilitated a culture to where these guys could flourish and do their
yeah,
nefarious
he
things.
enabled that to happen because like nothing was. He was the head.
He was and Dan wasn't allowed to be around the kids because people knew that Dan was kind of a weirdo. So at a time, after he was there for so long, they made it to where he had to like direct and do shit from a whole different room, like,
which is odd because the director's usually right on.
that's what I'm saying. Like they knew he couldn't be around the kids, so they blocked him off. So maybe him saying he did do stuff, he didn't. But,
Or at least there's no evidence of it.
Or-
Direct
you know what I
evidence, or
mean?
people don't want to come forward.
Exactly, but yeah, no, it didn't really focus on him, so I can't. But he's getting the brunt of all this for sure. He's the
so
face
okay.
of it.
It's also because he was like the golden boy of Disney, like somewhat untouchable.
Any Nickelodeon show you liked as a kid,
he had a hand in it. I fucking loved all that. Like,
did that.
yeah.
Wow, so this says at first Schneider denied sexualizing the young teen stars. Then he later responded and apologized for his actions and the inappropriate scenes that they
Said that some of his stuff could have been misconstrued, and he apologized. Basically, light apology.
Apology, but not apology. I'm sorry for the way it made you feel. Type of thing.
one
I
of
bet.
those little wow.
When we wrote it, we didn't write it that way, but I can see how
Because my mind is a scary place. Most
I can
people
see how
won't
it could
get
be
it.
interpreted like that, but I didn't write it that way. That's what's
Dan. We all know
Laces
Dan.
out, Dan.
Laces out, Dan.
Like 4 months ago,
Drinking your beer, my bad.
That's all good.
4 months
I didn't
ago,
drink
we
it.
were
I had
probably talking about Drake Bell and being like, well, he was off his
Such
rocker.
a weirdo.
And I know, like, over the years with Amanda Bynes, she's gotten a really, really brutal rap about,
Well, yeah, because Schneider
She
was
was a
like
part of it.
He
I
was like
figured.
he probably helped promote her as the star to get her own spin-off, and then like you don't even want to know because I doubt that she wants to talk about that. Like,
But Joe
that's
Budden
probably too
pointed this
horrible.
out too, and he said that the first people he's ever heard about it from his childhood talking weird about Hollywood was the two Coreys, and I know it was a little bit before
Feldman?
us
with
Feldman and then
and,
the other one who passed away, Haim.
Corey Haim, yeah,
I don't know, Corey.
And Corey Haim and Corey Feldman were the golden boys in that generation.
friends with MJ,
Everybody, and they were just
making
like,
music like MJ currently. You gotta put that clip up. Like,
I know, I should, I will. But that's what he was saying. He's like, look, this guy's been saying it's been so weird. Look how he is. He's off his rocker.
I mean, this goes back to, I think we were having the conversation last
Child
time.
stars.
Is it possible for a child star, for children, to be in anything that makes money under an older?
Not when you're that big. Like you could be, I think, semi-famous and get out.
well, look at like I think it definitely if it's I think within these sort of channels of Disney or Nickelodeon, no, because I think there's this massive exploitation and abuse.
Yeah.
But look at Dylan Cole Sprouse from the twins that were Big Daddy with Adam Sandler.
Yep.
They're successful like adult
Now,
actors
yeah.
now, and I don't think that there's any. They haven't said anything about a history of abuse, but they're
But I wouldn't call them prolific child actors.
no.
You know what I mean? They
They got big somewhat in a small thing.
That's
I feel
what,
like a lot of the child actors that we also had aren't really actors, like Haley Joel.
because I
Osment
think some
is
happened to him.
Yeah, no, he looks exactly the same but totally different at
a
the
little
same
bit
time.
bigger.
I
saw
think
him at
some stuff
Trophy Wife
happened to
one
him,
time in
like
Echo Park.
Macaulay. Like none of these guys escape.
Is
Well, because we all know it's a LA can be a dark place
if
no
it's
matter
not
what. Even
like something over sexualized or whatever that, you're someone's screwing you with money, and then
gets abused either way.
some
Financial.
way, like I haven't heard a case where it's just like all just.
Doesn't he still look the same to me?
Yeah,
he looks
just,
the same.
just a little bit.
No one just has a case where it's like my
Rounder.
mom's still my manager, and you know.
Yeah, because like we all know what happened with Britney Spears, like with her dad. Like
with
everybody.
Shy and his dad.
Everybody.
I never saw Honey,
Honey
Boy,
Boy is
so I
so
don't.
good,
I
man.
didn't.
It's so
Everybody.
good.
There's
The
no.
details.
I don't think there's anyone like that. Like the Jacksons were telling us, bro. Like,
That was straight up
Oh,
too.
true.
Yeah,
Like,
that was like, yeah, 'cause
and
the
like everyone
abuse was, like,
knew
there's
it.
no.
Well, like this is not even. I think this is just like maybe execs or people like covering up stuff. Like
Yeah.
with Bill Cosby, like it was well known across the industry. Like he was shady, but like I think execs and whoever people in power were like covering up for him, enabling this behavior to happen.
It's like it's a weird thing because it's like we allow child stars, and technically they're working, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't allow children to work.
And they're working long hours. Like
It from the jump doesn't make sense. Not saying they shouldn't be able to, but you know what I mean? We don't allow kids to work.
well, you know, there are laws that are trying to be enacted to like where kids can work, like because there's child labor, but it's like hush hush. Yeah.
But there's kids that do need to work circumstantially. I'm not saying
I mean, like babies are protected on set because like they have babies all the time in like TV shows and movies that are like these are fucking babies that are not fucking babies. Sorry, these are babies that are just a few months old and they're being on camera and whatever. You know, it's crazy.
How do you feel about Elijah Wood? Just when you think about him, trusting? Do you like him? Where do you
he's got
place him?
eyes that says I've seen too much.
Because he in
Very
2006.
vulnerable eyes, like
I
like
didn't-
soft, but like full
Seen
of
too much.
dread.
Yeah.
Or some
I didn't
sort of,
know this, but in 2016 he had come out about Hollywood engaging in an organized child sex ring thing.
It's like all like
I
it's-
didn't know
it's
that.
really tough to be like, so you were famous as a kid, had money as a kid, could do whatever you wanted, and you came out perfectly fine, and everybody had your best interest in mind. Nobody was trying to take advantage of you.
Do you think? But then it doesn't really seem to matter if your parents are on set or not.
No, it kind of
It doesn't seem to matter if you like.
does. Like they have to kind of be there, and then you get those people that are overbearing, and we're trying to demoralize them. You get the LeVar Balls, and maybe he's really just trying to be a good parent. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
he also was playing the game.
Yeah,
I think
of
he did a
course.
great
But I would
job
say
of it.
because
Of
with
course.
like kids though, specifically with acting, you kind of maybe not write them off is the right term, but they're like, oh, they're eccentric because they're actors. It's part of their process. They're just weird. But then
and then I just feel like their parents are like,
Yeah.
well, I can't foster that. Let me take you to a coach or someone that knows what they're doing, and then we're back down this road.
yeah, it's kind of the whole industry is enabling this sort of behavior.
Totally. It's kind of crazy going through this. The dude who was Ted, I think, in Bill and Ted,
or Ted.
like the non Keanu, he said,
The Nanu.
yeah, he's on there. Elijah Dushku said, is on like saying something. Yeah, you have Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. I mean, these are just like there's a whole lot of names, but it just does. I do really think like predatory, as terrible as it sounds, predatory actions seem to be like, I don't think it's just a Hollywood thing.
No, it's like I'm not putting it on teachers, but it's in their field
I think it's I think there's any type of
where you have that relationship.
totally. Yeah.
Just I'm not putting it on every person, but I'm not putting it
100%.
on every person is good.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like, oh, you put kids in front of anybody and it's gonna happen or anything
Just
like
saying
that.
that the likelihoods could be a little higher if
Yeah.
they weren't.
Well, and I think that's also people really, if you statistically, I know like child abuse, like sexual abuse, it's like one in every, like it's pretty freaking high.
prevalent.
Yeah, like we could get all of our friends in a room. No one would say I've been abused, but the percentage is like somebody in the group has been abused some way.
Oh no, I know.
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
I know for sure.
And so it's like, I look at then when we talk about Hollywood, when it's like kids who don't have any power, who are trying to be big, who have basically also been told just listen and do what you're told because you're going to make it, somewhat, and act and do the thing. It's like it really kind of sets up for this type of thing to just run rampant.
I think Hollywood is a good example, but I think it's kind of beauty in general. Like in the fashion industry, a lot of these women, they get big at 15, 16, and they're kind of, I don't want to say trafficked, but they're just treated as an object or a property, and then for Hollywood, it's like these kids are like aesthetically, like they're not ugly kids, and then it just facilitates that.
But
whole
you
thing.
know what? I have to be the devil's advocate.
Of course
obviously.
you do.
No,
it
don't.
wouldn't be me if
Silly.
I would. But we just do this in every field. We've always wanted to pick the best of the best from the earliest and cultivate and nourish.
But I think it's just through one aspect of physical beauty, of beauty standards, that it gets that's accelerated or hyper realized of like exploitation.
I could say no too, because I could say the same. I feel like coaches, could
I mean but we know coaches happen like
teachers,
Sandusky.
What that was that the dude that was he wasn't the coach, but he was him, but not the coach, the doctor that was
U.S. gymnastics, Larry
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't put it on everybody, but
says 1 in every 4 girls and 1 in every 20 boys in the U.S. has experienced child sexual abuse. So like I think you get everybody together, but like I said, no one really speaks about it, kind of thing. And I think anywhere it is like you put somebody in power, coach, doctor, whatever it is, teacher, kind of thing. I also think that some of it comes into play about demographic as well.
Of course, but then it doesn't, because then that all goes away, because it really is not like you could have the most affluent child get taken advantage of by.
I think that you can, but I'm saying percentile wise, I'm not talking maybe like money, but more so like race. Like I think that there's probably people are put into different, like if you have structures of watching over kids to not, maybe. I don't know though. I'd have to actually do statistics on this.
Well, I'd say like if you were a kid, a minor, and you were lucky enough to not experience any sort of cases of abuse, like specifically women, as you get older, like you're going to be exposed to it, but you don't necessarily have the knowledge or the support system or something. If you do experience it, like who are you going to tell?
Not the Ghostbusters. Sorry.
Did you see the new movie?
I did not.
Kind of want to.
And it was supposed to be who you going to call, not who you going to tell. I guess sticking on heavy subjects, we knock them out early this time. I was going to say earlier when you mentioned Israel bombing Iran, and I don't know if you wanted to speak about them in the World Central Kitchen and
Well, I specifically, this one stuck out because I was it was just getting back into painting, and I was talking to Marlene, and it was like, oh, maybe like I want to do a thing where like a portion of like every painting or something I sell, like I could donate it to a charity. And I specifically was like World Central Kitchen, because I was like, they're on the ground in Gaza, and like a lot of notable names are attached to it. And I checked, because if you see a advertisement for a charity on Instagram, I'm like, oh, okay, like there's a lot of scams out there, especially for right now, I think, whether Ukraine or Gaza or something. And I checked them out, and they had a perfect 5 stars rating for like the third party people who are going through their stuff, or like 4.98, which is really good. And I saw Jose Andres. Do you know? He's like a very notable chef, like a very renowned chef. He goes to these places that either experience like humanitarian crisis or natural disasters happen. Like these chefs, they go on the ground and they're there cooking for refugees or people who are like, in a time of crisis. And I was like, this seems like a great charity to like donate to be associated with. And then that happens, and now they have to suspend aid in Gaza because of this. And it's also, I think, maybe a move by Israel to send a thing like, oh, you're an aid worker, you're a nonprofit. Like, I think other people are pulling aid because they're scared as well.
Yeah.
Because this is obviously, that wasn't a mistake.
No, it was on purpose. And that's like a scare tactic. That's like a, hey, like, you know, I mean, I think Israel, I don't know if the U.S. did. I don't know where they are, where we are on if we said it was or wasn't, an accident. But I know like Israel is like claiming like
it was an accident. We're sorry, but John Kirby, I think he's a State Department maybe spokesperson. He's like, we've looked, the State Department has looked, and they have not found any wrongdoing. It's like, come on, guys.
It's just crazy to me, in that. I mean, first thing is a tragedy. You have people that are actually trying to do good. You know, like I know when you do that, you're putting your life in danger. You knowingly are putting your life in danger. So there is a piece of it where it's, you know, but I also don't think that the people that were the WCK workers that were killed, you know, they weren't thinking like we're going to get bombed by Israel out here when was it a ceasefire moment? No.
But they were traveling in a clearly marked vehicle.
That was it. Yeah. And they went vehicle by vehicle too. It was like it was a coordinated attack.
The survivors got into another car, same clearly marked. They got targeted again, and then the people from that went to the third car, and then that was just like there was no survivors after the third incident.
It clicks two things in my head. One thing is I don't understand why Biden has any I don't see the benefit or the buy-in of continuously supporting Israel.
Well,
I can't seem to understand.
Lobbyists like AIPAC is a huge force in Washington in politics in general. I mean, if you see any Republican, like conservative group, they're full support of Israel, and they are huge influences in government. But I think even Biden is saying there needs to be a ceasefire. There needs to be increased humanitarian aid access in Gaza, in the West Bank. But they are having, I think they just approved the sale of F-15 fighter jets, like $50 billion in sale. It's like you could say one thing, but actions are always speaking louder than words.
It doesn't help that our number one export in the U.S. is war. So we get a shit ton of money from that.
Military-industrial machine.
Yeah. It's weird because part of me wonders, like, to what degree the U.S. or anybody in the world, to what degree is it important to buy into this type of information? Not buy in, but like pay attention. You know, some people it's like, oh, it's really important you pay attention to this. It's a really big deal. I think it's crazy because if anyone else were to be doing this, it would be like, you know, we're not messing, like we're cutting you off. It's like, that's it. And like, so the idea that America once was this idea of like, you know, Captain America kind of attitude. It's like, you can't really say that you're a do-gooder.
Well, it's just like imperialism in any form is still imperialism, no matter who it's from. I mean, kind of loosely on that, shortly after the whole assault started, there was something about McDonald's because people have been boycotting McDonald's since this is like started. One, because you know they're franchises, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in Israel, there's one company, I don't know what they are, if they're investment fund or whatever, but they own a chain, like a huge amount of McDonald's in Israel, and that specific owner was offering free or discounted food to Israel IDF soldiers after this happened, and McDonald's has distanced themselves from it. They had franchise owners in like Pakistan and Kuwait, like saying we don't have anything to do with this, like we're not part of this. It's just this specific franchise owner, and McDonald's is actually buying that franchise. I can't remember the name, but they're actually buying all of the stores, all of the branches from this one thing to like.
Well, I guess
they are experiencing like a financial windfall from all of the boycotts and everything just being tied. I think they're just well known to be somehow connected.
McDonald's Israel. That's what it's called. Yeah, they're buying Israel franchise owners. Yeah. Taking back 225 restaurants.
That's not a small amount of McDonald's franchises.
I also think it's weird to me that I'm not saying the Israeli government wants to make Israel a pariah right now, but it seems like they're making themselves a pariah right now.
What exactly
like
does pariah mean?
Outcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being for sure.
So, but it's weird to me because historically the stories are always, and hopefully these words are picked correctly. The story is always like like Jewish communities they're like, why are we outcasted? But it's weird that the government would do actions that would then outcast
further.
Yeah. I guess it's not meant for me to understand, possibly, like, from an outsider looking in. I also, tell myself in a realistic way, like, how much in this can I do? Like, what can I actually, where is my power actually lie in this? And I do feel very powerless in these type of things because you really, minus maybe giving money to, like you were saying, places like, the WCK, which, it's like going there. There's not too much I feel like I'm able to do. I know I can go out and like post things, but at the same time, if I'm just posting something, like where do I actually...
Where does the action come in?
Yeah.
Like, awareness is one thing, but action is another.
Yeah.
There was something about, I think Senator Chuck Schumer, I think he's out of New York. He said something. He's a full supporter of Israel, but he called in, this is maybe a couple weeks ago, in a speech to whoever. He was like, they need a change of leadership. Like, they need to get Netanyahu out of there.
Yeah.
And then Israel, the government, released a statement like, this is fucking the U.S. meddling in Israeli affairs. They should not be doing that at all. But Israeli affairs are, like, they are intrinsically tied to the U.S., like, because we're the number one ally. Like,
yeah. Well,
so it's like you cannot be reaching, like, the state of Israel as it is now without U.S. support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that includes not just like military aid, but
plus that's
lobbying, government.
They were giving you a shit ton of tools for war,
and they receive training from like the military, the police departments, and stuff like that. Like just tied to it because it's a military state. It's an ethno state.
Yeah. I also feel like, I don't know, this probably is a little bit lame on my side, but the whole fact that they've also bombed Lebanon and Syria, to me, just is kind of like...
They're saying that there might be military action with Iran now.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is not a road you want to... Like, you're literally...
Nukes.
You're just making yourself more and more of a pariah. Now that I know that word, what that means,
I
can use it somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned recently, my mom and I were talking about it. So my family, when my great grandparents and uncles and stuff, they came from South Lebanon, which is the area that's being bombed.
Hezbollah, right?
Yeah, so it's really interesting because if we have family still there, that family would be in the area that's being bombed right now. And I know we do have family there. Just I don't know if they're, the whole, like the degree of where they're. But like there's a piece that's just kind of like it's so close to connection. It's like I think sometimes it's easy to be like, oh, it's not in like the whole not in my backyard kind of feeling. Like, oh, it's happening, but it's not happening here. And so if I can't see it or feel it, but I do feel like, at least for myself, I know for my mom too, which my mom's a pretty staunch Democrat, when it comes down to it. But like I was talking to her the other day about Biden. She was like, I just don't like it's how it's really hard to get
support
behind.
that.
Yeah, she's like, it's really hard to be like,
no matter how vote blue you are.
Yeah, she's like, it's extremely hard to be like, okay, like why are you still doing this? Why are you still doing this kind of thing? And I think that does really affect people going into the voting season, which
we're fucked.
But Trey said this 4 years ago that Trump was going to be president.
I think that's totally going to happen.
You still on that?
I'm future sight, dude. That's my X-Men power.
So the last time you were talking about you are Miss Cleo. So you are Miss Cleo.
On future side,
We
dude.
still
Call me now.
Damn it, we forgot. You need to get your
My
we need to go see a hypnotist. I want the whole thing done. You need hypnotism. You need your cards read, palm read, tongue read, bones.
No, but like on what you were saying, you know, people don't really get truly affected to where they start making life decisions off of stuff until it affects them.
Yeah,
or in a vein that touches them.
Exactly.
Well, the multicultural nature of the people of the United States, it's like. It's
But that's
in
why
like
you
so
get
many
segmented outrage.
Mm-hmm.
Because stuff doesn't affect everyone the same.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, so it's hard to get a unified outrage when stuff doesn't You know what I'm trying to say?
uniformly infect everyone.
You think?
Or yeah.
Does that mean
was
that
it.
most likely the last unified outrage?
Civil War.
Well, I would say World War II.
I was gonna say like 9/11 or something.
Oh,
That was
it.
people
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
we're
You're
Like
right.
flying
they
those
were-
fucking
That's
Chinese
true.
made
But
flags
it
on their
wasn't
cars.
unified because we looked at Americans as outsiders depending on what they look like.
Because you started. I mean, every single time. And actually, I should take that back because in World War II, we did have we had internment camps for Japanese citizens here. So
I'd say Civil War, and it was.
and
we were
even
fighting-
then,
we were fighting ourselves.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah.
that was the last time where it was just like we are strictly on two sides.
Yeah.
These are the two sides.
Yeah.
No other side, just two.
It's a great point that you made because if you look back in the past 4 years of our U.S. history, you know, looking at things like George Floyd and how there was enragement that, and you had Black Lives Matter, and then you had the All Lives Matter people come up, which like there was some type of rage that was they felt justified in
Neglect.
a sense. Yeah,
It
perfect.
was rage from neglect.
Yeah,
Because their lives do matter, but the sentiment was missed.
100%.
It was
That's
like
why-
and that's where it's like,
misconstrued.
yeah,
But that's where, because it didn't affect them in the sense of what affected them was the outrage of it, because my life matters as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, like, and that's also something where, like, if you've never traveled through the States, if you've never seen small towns of prominently Black, prominently white, prominently, you know, Hispanic, then you don't really, I feel like, understand the sentiments that come from those small towns, which are very different generally than the large towns.
Feels like different countries going through the states, you know? From
Yeah.
West to East
That's
Coast.
for sure.
It does.
It really does. Yeah. Damn it, you just said something I was gonna bring. Oh well, lost it. Lost
It
it.
wasn't important.
No, it was. It was super. But probably the most important thing I was gonna say today.
Ever?
Yeah,
If I
possibly.
said it, couldn't have been important.
Whoa, hey, don't put yourself down like that.
I was
Value
joking.
I don't
God,
know.
really?
I can't tell.
I can't tell.
What is it when people say there's truth in
There's
every
truth
joke?
in every joke.
I hate that statement, by the way. I mean, I'd be like, no, that was a.
Do you hate it because it's true?
Yeah,
No,
a little bit.
Wow. It's like people can pick that. That is also another scenario where people pick and choose based on their outrage. I'm like, it was a joke. Was it though? No,
Yeah, it was
100%.
clearly-
It was a clear ass joke.
Clearly, it was a
total
joke.
joke. Yeah.
But like as Josh said, joke is based off of truth.
There is a grain of truth in every joke, I think.
Yeah.
It just depends on if you like the joke or not, if you think
That's
it's funny.
exactly-
But there's, like, because there are, like, even with stereotypes, there's self-perpetuating stereotypes and stuff, like, you know.
I remember what I was going to say. First, who you texting?
Do it.
Ghostbusters.
Marlene.
What's up, Marlene? You said Civil War. We got to go see that movie. Neil just saw it.
He said it's kind of corny.
Well, I'm sure it
The
probably is.
A24?
Yeah. But,
A24 is not supposed to be corny, though. They're supposed to be hard-hitting and...
but whatever. I still think we should go see it. But he was like, tell me what you think about it. But I guess that's like their second recent red carpet thing that Millicent
No,
did?
that's like the third or fourth. Shout out Millicent and her +1, aka Phil's brother.
Phil's brother,
Because, like, they're...
the
What
photographer.
was that for? Was it for A24?
Because they went to...
No, it's for Civil War.
I think, like...
Civil War.
Civil
It was
War,
for it, yeah.
Immaculate.
Yeah, they went to Immaculate.
Beauty Lies Bleeding or something like that.
Yeah.
Something Lies Bleeding.
Something.
And then, like,
I've
another
seen
one.
all her
like,
Getty images.
I get the images. I'm like, damn, get the
you
images.
could
I'm about
slice ham on those cheekbones, Mill. Shout out. Like, wow.
I'm about to
Cured meats.
make my own little
I was
Getty
just going to
image.
Photoshop one, yeah.
Just put those watermarks on.
Getty images.
But I make it a real bad
Terrible?
edit to where it's like green screened on
Gaddy.
Getty.
Gaddy. Bugatti images.
a Gaddy.
Yeah.
hilarious.
Speaking of movies, saw Dune 2 yesterday.
Finally.
Bum.
Christ, I thought you'd see that earlier.
Bro, you can't call me a bum. You haven't seen it.
I'm Kendrick. Bum.
Boo boo.
We'll get to that next. I swear we'll get to that next. I waited like 12 hours to poke the bear on you, man.
That's a long time. That's some
Yeah. No, Dune 2 is great. It fully deserves its 95% Rotten Tomatoes.
That's a really high rating.
It's
But it like I fully agree.
shout out Timothy.
Why are the tomatoes rotten? Why can't they be
You throw
ripe?
them. You throw Rotten Tomatoes. That was the whole
You don't
thing.
want to throw good ones.
Yeah, you eat
It's
the
just
good
wasteful.
ones. Pomodoro.
Margarete.
So, got it.
Yeah.
Kind of don't.
Well, because like they wouldn't throw when they threw tomatoes at a bad act, they weren't throwing good tomatoes.
Because they'd have to be soft so it splats.
I get all that. So, but what does 98% Rotten Tomatoes mean?
Well, they just chose the name Rotten Tomatoes like something was bad.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
that's what I'm saying.
There's truth in every saying.
Because when they say something's good, then how's it bad if it's Rotten Tomatoes? It's
Well,
good.
I don't know.
Because they have less chance of getting it thrown.
Well,
at them.
hey, but the critic one is golden popcorn, I think. So we can
You're
go
right.
off the golden popcorn
You're right.
one, you know, which you can't eat, but whatever. It's gold. It's gonna fuck your teeth up. But no, it's really good, and I kind of like Timothy Chalamet. I've never like he's not. I was never sold or unsold on, but I thought he was really strong.
You were not overwhelmed or underwhelmed. You were just whelmed.
I just felt like if you're like he is the main actor, you know, and he held it down this one.
I'm glad Zendaya
Did he
got
take
more
his
than
shirt off?
like 3 minutes of
No,
time.
he's a skinny dude.
I was just
I don't think he's got the.
the build.
Yeah, I also realized that I think this was the first movie that Javier Bardem and Josh Brolin were in again together because No Country for Old Men they were together, and I was telling that to
He was so
Laura.
mad he killed him.
Oh, I was telling to Laura, I was like, "You think like they had a moment like remember when you killed me off scene on the other movie?
That was such a good movie. I didn't see that until like
No
maybe 2
Country's
years
fire.
ago.
There's no happy. That movie doesn't have any like happy ending. It's just
Josh
like,
Brolin has it's little bits of comedy, but it's very dark comedy still.
Yeah,
I don't
but
even know if actors would be cool people to hang out with. I feel like
I think Josh Brolin
Would be
to hang
cool.
out with. I think Javier would be fun to hang out with.
yeah, he seems like a funny guy. There's a couple you think like they'd be kind of cool. There's some that like
Johnny
Jared
Depp.
Leto, I would not want to.
I'd hang out with Jared. I play songs with him. I wouldn't want him to like talk to me about nothing.
he'd be like,
yeah, let's sing some 30 Seconds to Mars or something, bruh. Let's make some music.
I don't think Johnny Depp would be fun.
Hell
Too many
no.
bracelets. I couldn't.
But that's what I'm
stand
saying. I feel like
You
all
should
actors would
jingle
just be all like,
jangling the whole
they all just be weird, dude. Like all those fools are just strange, dude. Like,
maybe I don't know. He might be cool. He
I
might.
fuck with Idris just because he's got the accent.
I would be like, yo, let's
Go
DJ.
to a club, yeah,
I'd be
do
like, that's
something.
yeah. Idris would be cool.
Keanu, I know you guys like him, but he seems strange to me. I'm
I
sorry.
think he seems normal. Like that's
I
why.
think he's not. Yeah, he's not like hungry for the fame, so he likes his private time.
And his acting is so one dimension.
It's kind of like Christopher Walken. Like you're getting.
If
Keanu.
I would have said what I was gonna say, but would have been offensive, all of what you guys were saying would have been so
To
much
who?
funny.
What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say he seems autistic, and then you're like, he's one dimensional.
He might be. You might ask
might
him.
be on the spectrum.
Everyone's
Maybe
on
not
the spectrum.
necessarily autistic.
Bro, you
That's
on
why
the, you
I
on
know,
the spectrum.
God damn.
Actually, we should figure out your percentile. I feel like it.
But
we
is
should
that
have-
like a test you take, or is that like an actual? Like,
No, we'll just
gotta
give
go
it to
see?
him.
Sure.
I have no idea.
Oh, look
give
on
him a
BuzzFeed.
number.
Maybe there's a BuzzFeed. How autistic are you?
30. Oh my god.
My BMI, or it would be my
What's body
AMI?
mass index. Autistic mass index.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I for sure like.
We're sorry.
We're
sorry.
I know self-diagnosed, but I definitely have ADD.
Honestly, though, after watching Theo
ADHD.
Vaughn, I feel like whatever we say is not.
It's
like,
because we're getting back to the place where it's like there's enough people that fuck with the.
also, if you act stupid enough,
That's exactly what it is.
and Trey, you can act stupid enough.
Best of the time I say I'm acting stupid.
Best of time.
There you go, everyone.
Best of the time, you know?
Make it-
I mean, Borat.
He'd be cool to hang out with, maybe.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
There's certain things.
I was
that-
just talking about the acting dumb.
oh, he was
part.
wild.
That's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that was-
yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
remember the part of the movie we had the Gaby?
No, but I remember in
Gay
Bruno
baby.
where his dick was just going around
It
and
was
around.
the part, I forget which movie of his is, but he was like on a talk show and he was like dressed up like a gay guy, right? And he had a black baby and he had the baby wearing a shirt but it said Gaby.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, why does the baby shirt says Gaby? He's like, he's a gay baby. And then they go,
That was Bruno, right?
Was it Bruno? And he goes, I gave him a authentic black name, OJ.
It's gotta
Like,
be
the crowd is all like, boo.
Sasha Baron really pushing it back
You
then.
know what? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I think we're just getting back to where people can do stuff like that again and kind of just have their fan base.
I mean, definitely people.
I mean,
are allowed
that's
to
always
have
been
their-
happening.
Yeah.
No
We
matter
kind of
what.
got away from it for a while, though.
Well, because like a
Nah,
lot of
people just
comedians
get
were going,
quiet
"Oh, you
about
can't
it."
say anything because I'm gonna get canceled."
But
It's
that's
like,
what I mean. He got quiet, but like,
like-
Theo is kind of like,
It's like how I feel about people who like Chris D'Elia. He's not. I think he's terrible. He's not funny, never. But he's got a fan base still.
that's a little different.
He
though.
never.
It's like Epstein
don't
had a
know.
fan base.
Well, they were all rich.
Clinton,
He's got a fan base.
I guess. Oh man. Well, you spoke about it earlier, so let's just tap into it real quick. The album dropped
Co-world.
at 9 p.m.
Wasn't even an album. Look at him beefing them up already.
It is.
It's not an album.
It's
How many
12
tracks?
songs.
That's an album.
like a
That's an
mixtape.
LP.
It's a 12-song album.
Call that
mixtape.
LP.
He's
It's a
got.
mixtape. But proceed.
What's the last person to put a mixtape out on Spotify that had 28 million listens? 23 million, sorry, listens in the first.
Mixtape?
Yeah.
A
Carter
rapper? I was going to say probably like a
Acid rap?
Future or something. It
He had a
happens.
mixtape.
Dirty Sprite.
A lot of it's, that's all mixed. Yeah, he dropped a lot of mixtapes.
Future's like all
But
mixtapes.
You know it's a mixtape. It's not an album.
It doesn't say
I know.
mixtapes.
difference?
Mixtapes specifically had flavors. The flavors are Volume 1, Volume 2,
Sean
Volume
knows
3.
the real difference is budget, marketing, which
Yeah,
is that.
that's really it.
It's a mixtape, but I'll let this slide. Album, mixtape, whatever.
I feel like we just call it an album these days.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, I sat on it. I knew it was
mixtape.
out. I listened to it. I heard the
How intently were you listening to Jermaine? Sean was all there taking notes. I see.
I was. Had my
He's
glasses.
about to
had
do a
my-
breakdown.
I had my spectacals on.
It's like young Jermaine,
Little light.
diss Drake, and Bar 32.
Let me hear what you got to say, young Simba or old Simba.
Old
Maybe
Simba.
you're Mufasa now.
Yeah, he's Mufasa now. He's got kids, so he's Mufasa. Damn, this is just moments in time. That means Drake would be Scar. It's his brother. Gonna kill him. Yeah.
Who's Kendrick? Pumbaa?
Probably only comes out
Nala?
every once in a while.
No, he's Rafiki. He's just all knowing.
Oh yeah, he's the wise one.
So here's the thing about that. I'm glad you bring that up. Anyways, so the album, it's got,
the mixtape.
I would say the mixtape, whatever, album. It has 4 heaters, I would think. 3 are certified. I liked Pie with Ab-Soul. That song's pretty damn
I'm
good.
glad Absol's still making.
His song with Boss and Central C was pretty
Your
damn
mans.
good. Yeah, Demands.
Big fans.
And then
big
he's got
ups.
another
Big
one.
man's.
The diss track, I think it's funny because it's the worst beat in the whole track, the whole album. It sounds like
It's a Detroit beat at the beginning, and then it goes into
something else, and it's called 7-Minute Drill because it's something that he does. So the way that and he spoke about it years ago, or his manager, J. Cole's manager, spoke about it, where when J. Cole's in
look at Sean's a Cole or
yeah, dude, I'm giving you information, bro.
Cool.
That's what people fucking no features, bro. 7-Minute Drill is like him just writing for 7 minutes, whatever. I mean, the beef is just funny because it's probably the best thing that could ever happen to hip hop or rap right now. Like it
It's
makes
fun
people
again.
interested. Yeah, like there's people. I posted a track thing on Instagram. And there's people that were commenting on it that I have no idea they listened to that.
They're like, this shit is it.
Yeah, and they were like, people were hyped up. And then Casey, shout out my brother, Casey was like, he's like, what'd you think? I was like, I think it was great. And Casey's Team Kendrick, so he's with you.
And then we
Yeah.
go, KC.
Yeah.
Who's not
Did
Team
you
Kendrick?
ever
So here, that's what
know
brings me
that
up to my
you're
thing.
my
I think people are Team Kendrick because they just like the idea of who they think he is.
There we go with the Cole lore. Here we
No,
go.
I think it really is. I mean, Drake's not. Let's be honest. Drake is
So
not.
why is Cole the best?
Huh? Why is he the best?
Why is he the best?
Because he's my favorite out of all of them. And Kendrick's the best to you because he's your favorite.
No.
Bullshit. Who do you like more out of those three?
To listen to Drake?
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
You're not an avid fan, though.
You're a Drake fan.
Yeah.
Over
You are, but like you're not.
so if you picked out of the top three, you said you got to choose one gets to stay forever. The other one's
Drake.
You're weird.
He can give me a whole mixtape of just singles that are bangers.
What about an album, though?
I made it out of his singles.
You don't even let me garbage.
Yeah, I
Cole
mean,
gave me
that's
about
because it's out of the three.
This-
You're
this-
not
what I'm saying.
necessarily
Cole
a big
give
fan
me-
in any
Cole
way.
will give me a solid mixtape that I can forever listen to. Solid 6, 7. Kendrick 8, 9. Drake can give me 20 Lucy's that I can forever listen to.
Wait. Kendrick gives you 8 or 9.
Well, because
Forevers.
you're thinking about
forever
about
songs.
big steppers type
That's
stuff,
what I'm. Forever songs.
butterflies in all their
King-
majesty.
Like forever songs.
But
Cole's got the least of forever songs for me.
That's fair.
And that's,
Because I can't see you liking
They're
him.
but
contemporary
that's
bops.
why I don't really rank any of them because Drake is the pop star.
Undeniable.
Cole is the rapper.
I think-
Rapper's rapper.
I think
and
I'll-
Kendrick is the artist.
I guess. But see,
Not
I
wrong.
think that's the thing though with people in Kendrick is like I think people who are Kendrick fans have made him out to be the artist. That's what I'm saying. It's like and I'm not saying he's not.
He does take the most risks though with the sound, like
That's all I'm
reinventing
saying.
himself.
Like
Yeah, well, I mean, you could say
I
that.
wouldn't say reinventing
You could say
it,
that,
but
but
he
then
has
Hold
the
up.
most
Technically-
eclectic sound of those three.
yeah. Well, he's touched them, I guess, the most. He's
Drake's touched the most, but Drake still touches in
Drake's
his-
pop.
within a vein.
That's what
within
Drake's-
a box.
Dr-
It's within a
He
box.
exists
Drake is
within a
never
box.
not
A Drake
been
vacuum.
pop.
Drake will go from
Drake
one
cube.
corner of a box to one corner of a box to this corner of a box to this corner.
It's a big box, but it's still a
but
box.
it's the same box.
Yeah.
I think his cadence and stuff doesn't change, but the sound changes
And
exponentially.
J. Cole is, I guess, in just
Smallest
if we're only
box.
talking about rapping, he's the epitome of rapper.
He's a rapper's rapper.
Rapper. Kendrick, he's also the rapper, but he's also going to give you the artistry. So that's why I don't like to compare because they all hit me with different things that I like.
What album do you listen to the most of? Like, who do you go back to and like you listen
If
to?
I
an
had
album?
to choose a single album, and if it's
'Cause I
not
think
a,
I know
and
what
it's
it would
not
be.
a feature album, because the feature album would be a Drake one probably.
No, I mean it's just like you
That's
put
what I'm
on.
saying. If it's just
well,
a solo,
I mean,
project,
you could put on Drake and
and it probably still
21.
would be- it would probably be. It's going to be either a J. Cole or a Kendrick album.
That's what I would-
probably a KOD or Damn.
Damn, not good kid.
I think Damn was.
I agree
More
with
well-rounded, more coherent-
That's what
cohesive.
that was kind of what I was saying to you about like his yeah, lava lost.
I
But
think
that's what I was
yeah.
kind of saying with like Cole did say that was his top album, and it is. And I think so. I think with the thing with that happens with, and this what goes with your artistry thing. Mr. Morale is not an album I've heard anyone
It's not palatable. I think.
put on or talk about. But like you said, N95, Father Time, and
And there's a couple that are like.
are good. And if they came on, I'd be like, these are fire. But like
Exactly.
And I feel like that's the difference with Kendrick's albums is generally, and Casey, I'll call you out on this too. I doubt you put on Pimp a Butterfly or Mr. Morale. You probably a Good Kid, Mad City
Damn.
or Damn
All day.
or Section 80. But the thing with
Or
Section 80 is I would.
the green one, whatever the loose.
But that
I
one is
know.
still not. It doesn't.
Whatever
Doesn't
that-
qualify. In
Doesn't really
Sean's
qualify.
Analytics.
Album.
Well, no,
I
it was an EP thing.
whatever.
It was a 9.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, none of them have like Drake could give you a solid project, but that's like if you like Drake,
Yeah, you have to
You know
like
what I mean?
views or
exactly
Stuff.
And
What was
his
the one,
older
the-
stuff.
the-
Woes.
If you're reading, it's not too late. Was
That
probably
was
the
the one.
last one that
Yeah.
was like.
Those
But
good.
yeah, views is
or Take Care.
If you're a Drake fan, is Take Care and Views are his classics.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're a Drake
yeah.
fan.
And I think if you're a Cole fan, probably Forest
Forest
Hills,
Hills,
and
which is hanging on my wall.
yeah, and
or-
KOD probably
Yeah, those are his
But
best two
two
efforts.
albums. Yeah, yeah.
I still like. I mean, I think that's
And
because
I
I was
like
never
Born
a
Sinner
Drake-
though too.
It's a
Really?
good, but that's
Oh.
to me that's the
album.
more of his
But
like
it's
he's
early.
trying to reach. He's trying to sound too radio in the early stage.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say. His first two albums are
Land of Snakes.
He's reaching.
I think that's the difference probably with with J. Cole is it took J. Cole 3
little
albums
longer
probably to get to where because I think it really was like Forest Hills that was like boom.
He's getting into his shit.
Yeah, and
to
he's
where
doing
it's like
thing.
it's mainstream only because it's dope, not because you're chasing a sound.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
feel like his mixtape's the best.
They're all dope.
They're all
like
good.
I couldn't.
Forest Hills was. I mean,
all 3 of those artists are dope. There's
Yeah.
no real like right or wrong. They can all 3 fucking rap their ass off. They can all 3 form a hit song. So,
do you think there's anybody that's not in that should be included?
Sean's close.
Yeah.
Big Sean's close.
Do you think a specific album of his?
Oh God,
He's the most consistent, realistically, when you think about it.
I Decide.
Was his worst?
That's the one where is it the weird front cover with the colors?
But he's given us a classic joint with Jhené Aiko with 2088.
Yeah.
Their joint album. Finally Famous.
The other one though, the
Detroit mixtapes.
yeah, but what was the one that had Blessed on there? The Paradise.
Ooh, Dark Sky Paradise.
Yeah, that one.
That's what
I think that one was
And
really.
then you got to
really,
imagine he was killing it with ass.
Yeah, boy.
Like
To make
he's,
that motherfucking hammer
he's just
drop.
right under. He's A B. Like
What do
they're
you-
A1. He's A B.
What do you say to people that, despite all this, they'll be like Q-Tip or like they go
In what sense?
as like best rapper kind of thing? Like
I'm not
people.
talking about a best rapper.
No, but I'm.
Oh.
No, we kind of are though because they are. They're like this conversation, this album,
They're
the
talking
whole.
about for right now.
But that's what I mean.
Like,
but,
yeah, because that has to do with like a contemporary relevance. Like
Yeah, they're
Q-Tip
talking
has
about
no
for right now,
relevance
yeah.
in
It's
like
like-
obviously an influence, but like putting out work right now, like even Nas, like he's
I don't know, he at least have reinvented himself in a pretty damn cool way. I would give. And he's not like the best, but do you still put Andre up there in your list?
As far as
Your top 5 favorites?
MCs,
Yeah. Yeah.
international underground.
he's probably got edged out.
Yeah.
He's probably been edged out.
Top 10 though.
Are you
Definitely top 20.
Are you a Tupac Biggie no matter what top 5 person?
No.
Are you a Tupac Biggie no matter what? top
Just
5?
from nostalgia, because like I grew up with it. Like I will forever quote them as a top 10 or top 20.
That's fair.
But like
I mean, top 20 is.
I'm not
so-
actively listening to it. Like it'll pop up every once in a while. I'm like, oh shit, I got to listen to this.
I
or
actually
that.
listen to Junior Mafia.
Oh shit!
Interesting.
I think the only old rapper I listen to actively is Jay-Z.
Okay, I won't actively. I like the song with Little Kim. I actively
Listen to that song.
I like he's definitely not in any in terms of notoriety. I always for a long time I fuck with like Pete Rock.
Hard. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many good,
But like he's definitely within like he's not doing anything contemporary that younger people would like really, but
there's really
forever.
not too many old guys that are contemporary, and that's why I like where hip hop is going right now, because we have our, I guess, oldest contemporaries
Yeah,
sparring right now.
which is cool.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great for the sport.
They're the oldest contemporaries.
Well, because you were talking about like
Relevant.
or not you specifically, but like we were saying how hip hop is so young that
50
like
years.
it's
50
it's like
years.
Yeah.
it's like within these eras, like people compare them like this isn't hip hop, this isn't, but like every 10 years it's like those people would not consider this hip hop like now. But I think we're at a good like pivoting point
finally
where it's like,
hitting-
oh, like the Jay-Z's
Jays,
and the Drakes can coexist with like
Andres, the Nas's.
well, even the and then the youngers like
Travis
the Earth Gang.
Scotts.
Well, no, like that's like kind of more still
older,
but like
yeah.
Earth Gang,
Oh yeah, I'll
Or
say
like-
Yeet. Like
yeah.
he's new.
yeah,
Yeah.
Central
Like,
Seas,
Central-
like they can all coexist, and that's all hip hop. It doesn't have to be this or that. It doesn't have to be lyrical. It doesn't have to be like, I mean, Yeet is still there.
Well,
I think a lot
that's
of
why I love Kanye. Kanye showed us with him and Lil Pump. That was a hit.
What was that song?
You're such a fucking hoe.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hit. But again, that's Kanye the GOAT.
The
Let's get it.
And Lil Pump is trash.
Yeah, he's
Trash.
not skilled.
Trash. And that was a hit, like a legit hit.
I mean, he had quite a few hits. Lil Pump.
He had a little.
Lil Pump.
I want to say
Get it.
Yeah, he had his little wave with Gucci Gang was a hit.
Whoa, his name is Gazi. That's his real name.
Oh, he's like I think Dominican. Or
Gazi Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy shit. To make a hit this day and age.
$250,000.
So you think it was just money?
No, but with $250,000 and a good song, you can generate a hit.
Okay, because I'm gonna slowly lead this into Cowboy Carter. I like that album way more than I thought I was gonna like it. To be honest,
it was made for you.
How so? Because I don't listen to country.
No, I know, but it was made for. I'm just thinking it's made for a certain demographic, and this demographic is age. It's not a person; it's age. And it's a demographic of change.
I think that's funny because like I don't disagree with you because like I'm not a huge Beyonce fan. I'm not a huge country fan. I am a Beyonce fan and country, but I'm not huge of either. I love certain aspects of both. But this is probably my album of the year so far. But I actually wanted to say before, I was like, when did XXXTentacion die? Because he was like on the edge right before like TikTok really blew up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he was not
dope.
He was unlike a lot of artists that I've ever.
He was dope.
That was
He was
6
great.
years ago.
Yeah, he was dope.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago. Because I mean, those 4 years of pandemic stuff, like kind of.
I mean, but a lot of it, Mac Miller, well, he's older still,
But he was still kind of like of a sound.
I think
you
he was
know,
a
like-
27 club though.
Yeah, he was.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like X was like 20.
Yeah.
You know,
different.
Juice World 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm not saying 7 years is fucking.
Oh, and like
50
how
years
old
or
was
anything, but
how old
fuck.
was Lil Peep? They were all before. Juice WRLD was kind of in it, but like
Peep was young, probably
X
25, 26.
and Lil
maybe?
Peep, like they were before. It's like the 27 club's
Gustavo?
like going younger or something like that.
Or Gus, his name was
21. Lil Peep.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Still making impacts and stuff, you know.
Totally.
But yeah, Cowboy Carter, like it's fantastic, man. I thought it would be good, but it was like I even liked when it first came out, 16 Carriages. I wasn't really into it just because I think it was that and Texas Hold'em, and I was like, obviously, I'm going to gravitate to the poppier, catchier one. But then like it's really good, like the whole album, like it's got heat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant by change, though. And she's gripping that. She's grabbing an audience right now that is kind of ambiguous, kind of in between eras in a sense, like losing childhood, gaining adulthood. What does that mean?
But also like it spans a wide range.
That's what
It's not for her diehard fans, but it will appease them. Not for country fans, but if you're open-minded,
You can listen to it.
because there's a lot of people like I guess it's like I don't know if you want to say just older white men, but like they're disparaging it quite heavily on social media.
Because,
But
I mean,
like Nancy Sinatra is like
but that's why you put out a solid project, because there always are going to be those haters, and
For
she's
sure.
an African American woman.
singing the Beatles, singing Nancy Sinatra, singing.
It's not like she hasn't confronted racism before. She's an entertainer, so she already knows
Yep.
to what extent people are going to disparage her art before they hear it, before they even can digest it. So she's gonna give them the best product, and then laugh when they end up
I mean, like
liking it. You
on
know what I mean?
a lot of them, she does mirror that sentiment exactly, and she's like, "There's gonna be haters, but fuck it."
And I haven't even you can tell like these artists, you can't stay clean on that magnitude for so long without actually kind of just maybe being that what you say you are.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That's when it switches. Yeah is when it switches.
But also, Spaghetti is like it's definitely not inflected with any country. It's just like it's like almost like a trap influence more than anything.
I
dig
heard
it.
that's what the people were saying that listened to it. They're like, one, I liked the country kind of stuff. I wouldn't listen to it, but it was cool.
Yeah.
But two, their takeaway was, I kind of want to hear a Beyonce rap album.
Yeah. Well, and also like so in Yaya specifically,
Because Because they're like, she's getting her shit off.
Yeah.
It's
I know Yaya. I think maybe in the Desert Eagle too, but like I think you would really appreciate their use of sampling, the way that it go. Like from a person that enjoys like the electronic music, like how you cut a sample up and it turns into it. Like they do that, and I'm like, that's for someone who doesn't do that. And then dropping bars is pretty damn cool. It's super, super impressed. I definitely like her song Bodyguard.
Bodyguard was good.
I think it was like one of my favorites. The song she does with her daughter. What's it called?
Protector.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah.
Protector. Yeah.
Are you a fan of that,
or
or do you think that's bad parenting, son?
well, I mean, she didn't have her daughter popping around. She didn't have her daughter popping around with people smoking weed. So I don't know. I mean,
man. She does have a song on it. I mean, it's an interlude called "Smoke Out" with Willie Nelson of all people.
Well, clearly because Willie.
Okay, so do you know like he pops up? I've never heard of him before, but he's on 2 tracks and he's got good bars. Shabuzi.
No, but there was like a. He's on that Sweet Honey one, right?
He's on Spaghetti, which is the that
maybe someone
fire.
that Rock Nation wants to be for.
And then Sweet Honey Buckin', which like he's got a
little something going.
features on it. Like I like his parts on it. I don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, but I mean, all in all, her Jolene remix, the way, I mean, I thought it was pretty.
She spun it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Got
Instead
co-signed
of
by
being
Dolly.
like the simp, she was like, "No,
Like,
you can't take
not,
my
like,
man.
Not begging
Try
you
and take
not
my
taking-
man."
She's
Yeah.
like warning you not to.
Yeah. Shout out to Miley Cyrus and the song she does with that. The reason I shout out specifically Miley Cyrus in it is because I was thinking about white female singers. I know I'm like pocketing and pigeoning
Jessica
people
Simpson?
into it. No, I was thinking about like really talented singers, right?
Oh,
Somebody's a very
Adele.
talented singer. That is the biggest one is Taylor Swift.
She's not a talented singer.
She's a good vocalist, but she's
No,
not like.
but
doesn't
let
stand
me
out.
let me
Sorry.
finish.
I'm gonna let you land. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let him land.
Let him cook.
You don't
Let
got
him
the
land.
answer, Sway.
I'll let you land. I'm sorry.
And when I listened to this track with Miley, I was like, dude, Miley doesn't get the credit she deserves, actually, for being like as good as a singer.
can sing.
Yeah. She can
Phenomenal.
sing. And I was just kind of, it made me laugh. I was like, in my head, I was like, huh, it's super crazy that everyone got behind Taylor, like, because I don't know what
Look.
that thing is. Yeah,
It's the easy push, bro. It's
her,
marketable.
and then I'm not a Posty fan, but Post
Post was
shines
great,
on
man.
his little Levi Jean song with
Sounds
with
better than
Beyonce.
his
And that's
own
what
album.
Post's been doing too. He knows that he knows where he wants to be, and he knows where his fans are, and he's finally bridging that gap.
Yeah.
He's like, let me show my black fans that I can be cool and country at the same time.
Can we
And
guys
that's what
Hey guys,
take this
it
like
takes a little time.
ice cream man music out? Yeah, because is this just me?
I can't.
I can't hear it.
Oh,
I can hear it faintly, but
Yeah,
it won't-
barely.
yeah,
You won't
can't
hear it. You won't hear it. Yeah. All in all, I think it's a really good album. It does make me want to see if she like just puts out like a ridiculous.
what's her? Because you were like, it's in stages. You have Renaissance,
I
Cowboy
feel
Carter.
like it could be maybe
what's
the
the third
setup
one?
to a rap album,
Yeah.
or back
a
to
little
R&B.
Oh, but she has some great flashes on here of like, ooh, what can she do? Because like I like probably like, there's no tracks I dislike, but I like about 75% of them.
I think that's why the greats do stuff like that. They just gotta remind people, because some people, forget.
Totally. And like it I think there is like 18 songs of it is the country before it goes into the second half. But there's interludes in there and everything like that. It's like a 28 album song. So she does give you kind of
a lot of
also
albums for one
Content,
song.
yeah, a lot of
yeah,
content.
and she does. She gives you an EP. She gives you an album and an EP, in my opinion. But it's
Because
all
the second
together.
part is not
It's completely
as wide range.
But I agree, man. This album to me, I'm not a Beyonce fan. Let me just I don't. She's talented. She's amazing. I'm not
the bear.
taking that away from her or anything
Tell him.
like that. But like I've never been like I'm gonna listen to a Beyonce album. But this album, I was like, to your point, the greats sometimes just gotta be like,
I could do it.
let me just remind you all. Let me just remind you all.
And then let me remind you in something that you may think is more palatable than my normal
Totally.
taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, she did. I saw a tweet about
And be mad about it.
And be mad.
And be mad about it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And you're mad about it because it's good. Because if it was shitty,
because if it's,
you wouldn't be mad.
You wouldn't be mad.
You wouldn't be mad.
DA got that dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw a tweet about it. It's like she does country as a traditional interpretation. She adds twists
Then
on
she
it,
does her-
and then she
yeah.
does her own shit. And it's like it like as you were saying, it does it successfully on all fronts. Like you can't, like you could just argue about it on opinion and taste, but
Of
like
course.
sonically, fucking.
That's why I stopped just saying people are shit a long time ago when they're on a certain caliber. It's like, I just may not like it. It's just not for me. I just say it's not for me.
Just really quick shout out also. This album is chock full of producers.
Of course.
Like, chock full. I'm pretty sure on every rap track, Sean Carter is one of the producers.
That's all the people on Joe Budden were saying. They're like, there's absolutely no way Beyonce wrote
them bars.
And they're like, are you saying Beyonce can't write them bars?
She could probably. I mean, she's been living with the man for a long.
Like,
so my
not
first thought
saying
was,
that, but we're just like,
yeah.
Jay probably wrote them bars.
My first thought was, well, they have been married and been together for a long time, and things do. But then I listened back and I was like, yo, these are some bars, though.
That's what I heard, though. There was
These are
like
some bars.
It was enough bars to be like where Joe Budden's like, I kind of want to hear a Beyonce rap album.
For real. And she's got a cool voice.
Kind of surprised.
Can't doubt it.
She hasn't done it yet. Like a whole album.
They're so big, it's timing for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was the right time.
'Cause it's
Country's
all-
getting big.
Because it's like, oh, you
It
timed
is.
it with touring for a few years after each one.
Everything for them is like a 5-year projection.
Totally.
Probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Well, when you're at that,
at that level, yeah. And there's only a few at that level. That's why I don't want people to think, oh, not everyone acts like that. No, it's like 10 people that can
Correct.
do this across all of the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's very rare when you actually
Very
think
rare.
about the people like my favorite artists. Majority can't do this. Like that's the reality of it. And I also was thinking about. I think you had said either like today you said it or in the past. She's a true entertainer and maybe one of the last true entertainers that we have where it's
We're
through
the
and
dying
through
breed of
all the way
true
across.
entertainers.
Yeah.
Because our true entertainer, and this is no diminishing, but kids are looking at Taylor Swift as being a true entertainer.
I'll give her credit into the sense of
I'm not diminishing it.
yeah, like I guess also like let me say like, when it comes
Not
to
at all.
when it comes to
Not at all.
entertaining, I'm thinking about also this person is driving the way
boat.
but the person's driving the way the show is going to look, the way the set's going to look, the way the outfits
Driving
are going to
a
look,
boat.
the way everything's going to look, the way the merch goes, the way everything is. That's all part of the entertainment experience. And then on top of that, they are giving you
Good music. You know,
yeah,
good video, just
good,
others.
good, yeah, a whole
Taylor
experience.
does do that.
Yeah,
But when and this is how I don't like to do it, but when I compare it to generations of previous,
okay, yeah.
the attributes just look a little, not saying the numbers aren't bigger because the numbers are obviously bigger.
Clearly.
The attributes start diminishing. She's not the best vocalist. She's not the best dancer.
She doesn't, I wouldn't call her a dancer.
You know
And
what
I feel like she does that in the way to like hold on if she does dance.
she does, and it's kind of you shouldn't. You know what I mean? So it's like
That's a rough spot too because I'm sure because she's huge, big shows, arenas. If you don't dance, boring, boring as hell. So you kind of have to, but at the same time, you aren't a dancer.
And
Big
that's
time.
why I don't compare hers to like a Ariana or something, even though they're directly comparable. It's no comparison
Yeah.
to me.
That's also where it comes into play, where people do learn how to play instruments, or they have played instruments.
Well,
I don't know.
Taylor kills her on writing.
Oh yeah.
Taylor actually does write her.
Well, I mean,
little
like, also like
basic
she plays. You know
and
what I mean?
she plays. That's what I'm saying. Ariana does not. She's a voice.
Yeah.
would you say that Harry Styles is an entertainer?
Yes, I would.
I don't know how-
he's an entertainer for sure, but
Yes.
he's a manufactured. He came out of the boy band scene. So
I'm
he was the
curious
best of
though,
the boy
like
band,
how
so-
much does he write?
I would assume very little.
What's your when you say right now? Are you talking about music or lyrics?
Lyrics,
He
20%.
music probably not, but I think he.
I bet you he probably has his hand more
He gotta-
on the lyrics than it is
He
on
would
the.
have to because I don't. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I would say you're right. Maybe 50%.
Yeah, I think his hand would be heavier on the
50%.
lyrics than it is on the music. But he's a musician. He can play the piano.
That's
he
what
can
I'm
play
saying. And
the
then
guitar.
on
and
the
stuff
flip,
like
like
that.
a JT, I feel like JT was heavily more on just the writing, the music.
Yeah.
Timbo helped me out
At the beginning.
Look at him now. Who's helping him now?
No, I'm
'Cause
talking about when he
Timbo.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But he's like, that
But-
last one with Toby. Toby was cool. Toby was solid, but like,
Did you listen to any of his new album?
I
I'm just curious.
literally put it on and skimmed through every song and said, "Not it."
I
it
think
sounds like old and like not much
It's
effort.
tired, bro.
It's like, but basic, right?
It sounded tired,
it's
basic. Yeah.
so sterile.
That's-
it's
so
so
that's the right
sterile.
word.
It was
It's just like
Antiseptic.
I'm
Yeah, it was
like,
just
God
dry.
damn, bro, you
Just
like you're not trying anything here.
he
Like,
had
you're
no
not,
like
no life, no exuberance, no.
he had no
freaking-
like senorita feel on there.
Yeah,
Like,
I was trying. I
none
was
of
just
that,
like,
you know what I
no.
mean? Like,
how you gonna do
it had
like
no-
suit and tie shit,
it
bro?
was
And then you-
basically grilled chicken with no seasonings.
Boiled
wait,
chicken.
boiled chicken.
Boiled chicken. It was boiled chicken.
Because grilled
like-
chicken can still be good. Boiled
Yeah, you
chicken.
said it.
It was boiled chicken. Like I
Not
fuck
even
with
in a stew
I
or
fuck
nothing.
with chicken, but it was just boiled.
boiled chicken. That was just biting cabbage.
It was just boiled chicken.
Just
like, It
sad.
was just sad.
What? Who'd you ask? You asked Harry Styles. That was it.
Harry, yeah. Harry's dope. But yeah, he's an entertainer, but he's a manufactured entertainer to me.
Shout out Tanner Adele. Like,
Oh, because she's on the album.
yeah, she's on that second track on the Blackbird cover. That's what I listened to that song. I was like, wow, like this is what I'd want to hear if like
Someone
a filled out, non stripped down version of Blackbird. Like that's exactly what I'd want because it has like nice harmonies when you throw them in. It was like out of left field for me because like I didn't think they would cover
No, I
that.
do
on
like
on
the
a country
style he
album.
goes down or where he's, leaning into that whatever style it is, genre. It's cool.
Okay, so I'm actually really impressed by this. The album was it Style Harry's House?
Mm-hmm.
He wrote 5 of the songs completely,
There you go.
solely written and everything. So there, his hand definitely in there. And I also agree when it comes to being made, he was the most talented. And there's always one that's the most talented. There's
And
your
I'm not
Beyonce,
saying
your
he
JT.
obviously had the raw talent to,
They
He's
see,
got the
they saw the
look.
potential to like.
Yeah,
So it's obvious he's been in the industry 10 plus at this time.
for sure.
I would hope you know how to, write a song. You're a singer, you know what I mean? But
Maybe it's also because like he actually got the independence to like write and like make his own music versus where he's just singing other people's
Other
shit when
people's
he's like
shit. Yeah,
probably
yeah.
minimal input when he was in.
no, because
when
him
he was
and
in-
Liam, whatever, they were able to, with their solo ventures, kind of do what
they want to do.
Who's that one
do.
other guy? The
Zayn.
Zayn.
I like Zayn, but he just dropped off.
He's just like because it's kind of like
Pop,
only goes
like
so
weak
far.
pop,
like
yeah.
you should be able to do better, but like I think
Yeah,
he
it was
gambled it
just-
on.
I
Like,
do.
pop.
That's one of the things where, like, if you stay generally in the pop realm, the pop zone, and you do that, it's gonna like after
Fizzle.
Yeah, you just can't.
unless
like,
you're exceptional.
Yeah, you got. Well,
I mean,
just cutting
even
edge.
still,
like,
like
you got to be.
You think about MJ, and think about MJ from Off the Wall.
It was all different sounds.
Every single time it was a different sound, and there's a different MJ, different face, different outfits, different everything. You know what I mean? But then you take somebody who I'm not putting her down at all. But you take somebody like Katy Perry. How many times can you write a pop song and have it be like?
Bring on
she's
Juicy
actually
J.
super legit too. 'Cause she
She's
was
a
writing
great,
all her shit,
and she's also a great singer. She was a gospel
was a
singer.
good
Like it's a
And
complete.
that's what I'm saying. The cream is gonna rise. All these people that are famous, they're famous for.
Because they're good.
They're good.
They're
if they sucked,
at the bare minimum, they
Yeah.
can do what they can do. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Beyond the age of Milli Vanilli, where it's like you can have no
You
talent.
didn't do it
Exactly.
at all.
But I hate when people see people and they're like talentless, like an Olivia Rodrigo. Talentless.
She's fucking.
Like,
I mean,
You love her, but
second
by all
album
means,
not
I'm
as
into
good,
it.
but like she's very talented.
no, but
to
I hate
his
when people
point, you
say
can't be
talentless.
talentless.
It's like,
Is crazy.
she was the best of
What they're doing,
what
what
they
that
had.
is.
So this is, you know what I mean? She's obviously talented.
Disney kid, wasn't she?
I
Disney
believe
kid
so,
as well?
yeah.
Even like when you get into things like 100 Gex, like people might hear that and be like, I can. That's always their
Like,
thing.
that doesn't resonate
I
with
can
me at
do
all.
that. I'm like, no, you
It's
can't.
like you couldn't, and if you could,
'Cause you
then
could,
go
then you
fill up a
would've.
5,000
Exactly.
person auditorium
'Cause-
every other day. Then.
With a very niche sound.
And this, because the statement you could, especially when it comes to anything in the art realm, you could is so like,
Yeah,
show
it's
me.
it's
Like,
hard.
It's fucking hard, dude.
real hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Because
like,
even people that are making it aren't making it until they actually like,
You're really
in the realm.
touring
Yeah.
hardcore.
Until you actually don't have to tour hardcore because you've gone beyond,
and that takes mad time.
Beyond
and
Beyonce.
you
yeah.
got to put in a lot of effort, and A lot of sleepless nights and a lot of ramen meals.
I mean, I do love ramen.
How many times a week, though?
At one point in my life, 5 to 7 days a week.
Hey, I was
How many
eating.
ways can you freaking top a cup of noodles?
I think
so many ways, actually. What do I have? What kind of toppings do I have in my household?
Whatever.
Yeah, all day. All day.
I eat one of those now, man.
Sean's all got hummus in his cup of noodles.
I'm gonna feel bloated for like 2 days after I eat a cup of noodles. I can
Your
still
fingers are all just puffy and
I can
shit.
still eat like tortillas 8 days a week, but
You refrain from wearing black after you eat a cup of noodles because you'll have sweat stains on
I'll have sweat stains regardless of what I wear.
and white rings around everything.
That's not the MSG. Don't worry about that.
The MSG. Dang, you can reuse it twice. That's actually a good product.
Madison
Just-
Square Garden.
That's gross, dude. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh my god. So imagine you're on a boat headed directly towards a tower and your boat loses power and you just know you're going to smash into this bridge.
Well, what if it was a sailboat and never had power to begin with?
Well, you're not going to be like 5 stories tall being in a sailboat. Though.
Yeah, we're talking more of like a frigate.
If
Should I
you
call
were in a
this
sailboat
frigate?
and you crashed into a bridge, you'd be like, that's too bad for that boat.
Yeah, that boat be gone. The bridge collapse in Baltimore, like, is one of those scenarios where I saw the video and my first thought was like, damn, that captain was an idiot. But then you find out the whole story and you're like, oh, there's no power to it. And then you find out that in 2016, the same fucking boat ran into a bridge in Denmark for the same problem.
Would you say it's a boat problem?
I would say so.
I wonder if Boeing made those boats.
Boating.
There's like a sticker and it comes off and there's Boeing the name under it. Just
Well, there's like people like
awkward.
conspiracy TikTokers saying like that could have been a cyber attack, but then knowing that it happened again or before, like there's history. I mean that does tie into like Boeing, where there's like obvious technical engineering problems, yet somehow
They did drop the anchor on that boat too.
Was it dragging?
Yeah, they dropped the anchor.
What's crazy?
And they sent the Mayday, so that was...
they did say the Mayday. I mean, because they knew way before.
Like...
So, and I think that's why, for the most part, the bridge
was clear.
But the video is pretty crazy, watching the cars go
course.
by, and then finally they kind of stop. The math to me was because
was it mathing?
No, it did math, but the
math was mathing.
I think I made
math was mathing.
like I made a little like pseudo comment that was just like,
who'd you upset?
No one, but you have these people that like
the radical left.
I basically, I just basically made a comment. I was like, it's so funny in these scenarios where you have all the people that didn't go to college trying to tell engineers how like things work, and it was something like, so it's going 9 miles an hour, and the weight was millions of pounds and
thousands of tons,
yeah, and it was billions of pressure
joules,
of hit, and people are like, it's only going 9 miles an hour. It's like, but you don't understand.
And to play devil's advocate again, most engineers don't math just from working in the field. They know how to make math work on paper.
Well, also because like there's so many variables that it on paper, it's a controlled equation.
I fight with that every day.
Yeah,
engineers that can engineer.
Yeah,
and it's like, so then why would you engineer this bolt that's inaccessible right here? You know what? I didn't think about that. How could you get to that bolt if I engineered it there? You engineered it there. You tell me.
I feel like that's more like,
it wasn't supposed to fail, so why would you need to ever access
that's engineering.
it? Yeah. But I also feel like that's also poor use of CAD and.
But that's what I'm saying. Most engineers aren't practical. They make a motor. They don't repair a motor.
Yeah.
It's like, or like engineers versus designers. It's like
it's always a struggle. Every leap of the way, it's like, you don't understand what I have to do with what you gave me doesn't work.
Yeah, I just think though. I mean, when people, but to this
right.
scenario,
you're right. In
this scenario, if you have a giant ship hit a support column, and people are like,
this is all basic.
The people are like being like, oh, it's an inside job. It's like, no, a giant
inside
ship hit the fucking support column, and
it's big column trying to come get you.
Big column coming for you.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like, I just feel like there's
because you don't understand.
exactly, and that's what my statement was. It's so wild to me. Like, when people don't understand something, like there's like this fear that seems to ensue, and so like some people just like instantly go like, "Oh, it's an inside job. Oh, it's the government." And everything like. No, all the thing is you just don't understand how it fucking happened. That's the reality.
Isn't that where all fear comes from? Lack of knowledge.
Understanding?
Yeah, fears.
The mind killer.
You just don't understand. Shout
out Dune.
Callback. The Kwisatz Haderach.
Yep.
But I wanted to talk about that because like
I never realized
animosity.
Call most people dumb. You know?
I love calling people dumb.
But you call most of them dumb.
Yeah, but I just don't say it directly
Loves it.
because they're dumb.
I mean, I love it too. You know.
Well, you indirectly
Because fear is just like animosity, anger is usually brought on by fear, whether it's insecurity over your own actions or a fear of an unknown. Like, but that's basically anything else.
Yeah. I mean, generally, like, you don't know about people, and so you have certain views on those people. The fear is because you don't know things. It's like all that kind of stuff. The amount of like. I hate ignorance in these scenarios. Watching ignorance bloom is just crazy to me. Like you
grows like a wildflower.
Ooh, wow. Have you been reading my books or something?
No, I've just been reading.
That's new. So that's impressive. It's very impressive. But really, like, it's crazy. You know, this thing happens. The bridge collapsed. You have all these racist people that pop out of nowhere talking about the Baltimore mayor. You know, because he's a young black man.
Oh, what is the new term we coined up now? DEI?
DEI is
some
I can't remember.
Whatever it is. It's some kind of
didn't earn it. DEI didn't earn it.
Yeah.
But it's not DEI. It's diversity, inclusion, enactments of America.
No,
Yeah,
it's
diversity, equity,
equality,
equity.
and
There you go,
inclusion.
diversity.
Well, it's because
equity,
like they don't take into account he had 70% of the vote.
Yep.
In a majority black city.
Fucking Baltimore. Like, what the hell? Do you not know anything about
it's
Baltimore?
it's like the audacity of being
These
an
are the
average
same
white
people
male.
that are surprised that like Nigerians have a black, president or whatever. They're like, what? How?
That doesn't make sense.
Well, I
Show
think
me
it's
the
because
statistics.
because the truth or facts of something is often like what's it called? Occam's razor. You know, it's like the most logical explanation is usually the explanation. But it's like it's so boring that people would rather find
A
I don't know,
crazy
a
fucking
scapegoat
story,
or make
man.
up something or like
Flat Earth.
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. 100%. I mean, the fact
Wait a
that
second.
the fact that first thing, shit happens around the world. If you've ever worked on construction, shit happens all the fucking time. You saw a crane almost fly off this like 2 years ago or a year ago, right? The crane,
My boss almost fly off of a ring.
yeah, and die.
He would have if
Yeah,
like,
right.
another
If
piece of equipment wouldn't have
didn't
stopped
stop
him.
Yeah. So it's like stuff like that happened. This was a larger thing, and because it's a larger thing, people were like, instantly
they're
like,
like, oh, so
why would
it's
it
like-
happen? This is a big thing. It's
It's
like,
like, has no one ever been in a car accident? Has no one ever fallen off of a bike? Has no one ever?
you've never fucking just
It's all
fucked up.
observations from a bubble of like, oh,
Totally.
I've seen this on the internet.
Yeah. So it's like
There you go.
you have this boat hit the bridge, and now the conversations have all somehow it sparks. Oh, this is infrastructure. This is all related to the infrastructure in America, and then everything's going to hell and so that. And then it goes into like all the racist people be able to
They're trying to show us they're collapsing the dollar, but the bridge represents the dollar in America, man.
It's just like
collapse.
It's nuts to me.
Biden's America, welcome.
Full collapse.
You're
Thursday.
welcome.
Splintered piece.
It's the understanding in the boat crash.
Dang.
Well, that was like I don't know if it's going to be a movie or if it's on if it's just a play, but it's like Romeo and Juliet, and Tom Holland is Romeo, and Juliet it's a black woman, a classically trained stage actor.
People got mad.
Shakespearean, yeah, people got mad, and they're like, I just saw tweets about it, and it's like they're literally rewriting history before our eyes, and they're fucking
the only
referencing
one-
Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet from like '97
They just
as
said
like
that with Halle Bailey doing the Little Mermaid.
yeah, but it's like you're referencing Romeo and Juliet from '97. Like, do you not see the rest of the cast? Like,
Should we all?
they're black, they're brown, and it's like you're referencing that, not the actual thing where like men play Juliet.
That's what I was gonna say, like,
in
Isn't
Victorian
critical
Shakespearean
race
thing.
theory literally erasing history, or just not?
No,
talking
it's
about
just
it?
like no. That's the whole thing about CRT is like people don't even know what it is. Like Ted Cruz and like a lot of these politicians, they're like saying what it is, but when they ask them, they're like, I haven't really read into it or I don't know what it is, but they're threatening America. It's just telling shit like it was. What is it? The 16 something project. It's just like telling shit how it was, but people just want to deny it because they want to say America's great.
I think because the idea of like it's
To threaten that image that you've built up in your mind, that monolith that you've built, it's scary of like what actually happened. And people like they're saying CRT is like, oh, I don't want my kid to be ashamed that he's white. It's like
he doesn't have to be.
You don't have to. You don't have to be ashamed personally of yourself and your actions.
Oh, so it's
but just to
limiting
be,
them and stuff that they'll be sheltered and not know anything about the world. I get it.
Yeah. It's like,
That's totally better.
because it's like, oh, the world, like, because it's just saying that the world is a shitty place. The United States was a shitty place to be a black person.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're like, no, they learned skills that could have been applicable after they were slaves.
Yeah, CRT.
That was patronizing to people. But I didn't mean to do that.
I mean, but like CRT basically is just saying that it like racism isn't a person to person thing. It's inherently built into the structure and systems of law and society in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
That's built in everywhere in the world.
So that's what happens when you get repetitive head trauma, CTR.
CTE. Chronic
probably
traumatic encephalitis.
There's probably correlation, and people love to fucking use
you
correlation.
know, like Tito Ortiz is trying to run for office in like what is it, Huntington or Newport?
Sorry, I apologize.
No, you don't.
I don't.
But no, you make a great point.
Never apologize.
That's just
for who you
hilarious.
are.
People get
just for what you say.
People get mad if a black woman's gonna play Juliet. I'm like, all right, let's bring all the men in. Let's do it like how they used to do it.
Is that for a movie or is that for a play? Because regardless of if it's a movie or play, these people, they're not going to see it any way. So what the fuck does it even matter? Like, unless it's Cats.
No, you know what? I'm down with this.
Because you have to be enraged about something.
You know what? I'm down with this. She can't be Juliet because Juliet was white. I'm rocking with this because then Jesus can't be white no more.
I see there.
100%.
I'm rocking with it. Jesus
100%.
just can't be white no more.
100%. His node's got to be bigger than mine.
He's got to have woolly hair,
bearded as fuck, and not the
Brown.
nice cut.
copper skin.
Yo, yep.
I'm rocking.
And he got to have hairy arms.
I'm rocking.
Like, let's make it real.
I'm not rocking, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm
Might
rocking.
be.
I'm pun intended.
We could go. We should go to Morocco. That'd be cool.
I'm down. But yeah, she can't be Juliet. So
Well,
we get
same
Black
thing.
Jesus
Same
back.
thing is
I
like,
like
fucking Tom Holland ain't Italian. So what's up?
Or Chris Pratt ain't Mario.
He's not.
Definitely not.
He's not.
It wasn't me, Carissa Pratt.
Yeah. There's.
What is the level that we can appropriate?
Well, I was
How far
talking with a
can we
friend,
go?
and she said that Italian Americans it's like one ethnic group in America you can still make fun of, and nothing.
Well,
there's,
no.
and they're
No, you finish because I was gonna piggyback off what you're saying.
yeah, no, it was just like and there's no really blowback from making fun of like or doing like the stereotypical accent, like I just said, like. Mario's accent is literally a stereotypical Italian American accent, and there's no blowback from it. Like,
Which leads me to say again, how far can we appropriate? Because we can appropriate Italians, right?
Mm-hmm.
A black woman can't be Juliet, okay.
And they can't make country music.
And they can't make country music, rocking, okay. So then, like,
God, think if somebody cut that and just posted that on the internet.
so then do we just get rid of like all the average white guys from the NBA?
I was thinking that actually.
Do we just get rid of them too?
well, it's crazy because I was just thinking as you're talking about it, like Grayson Allen is like actually pretty good, even though he seems like the most average white guy if you look at him. Like people hate him. He's a very polarizing character for sure, but like he's actually cooking in the without Book being there.
I don't know why people. I know. I don't know why people get so upset about things. I do, but hey, whatever, dude.
Well, like double standards is kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly what it is. But hey,
what are we gonna do about that?
Hopefully, change them, right?
Well, you're not really into change and stuff.
At all. I was looking at.
I'm beating a dead horse if I'm trying to argue with you about that.
I was looking at you. What are we gonna do about it?
We're gonna fucking fight, Trey. We're gonna resist.
I'm with you in spirit.
Yeah, very spirited man you are.
You need financing in the fight, right? Who's gonna finance the fight? I'll finance the fight.
Blue collars.
There you go.
I mean,
I'll finance. I don't need to be out front line.
I'm very much in terms of like establishment politics. I'm very discouraged. I'm like almost apathetic to it.
You think?
But
so?
I am still very much in terms of like grassroots, like people.
So
getting
you still
stuff
have
done.
hope for the government?
I have hope for people changing the government, or maybe tearing it down in some way, but not like as the government itself changing as an institution.
So you have no hope for the government?
To reform itself, no. To like stop imperialism, to stop funding genocide, no, I don't.
So then, with that being said, do you really feel weird about Israel or America's?
No, I'm not surprised at all because like I know like their ties with Israel and
Why?
Western.
You can still be upset.
No, I know, but why though?
Why? Because you can have like upset's just an
No,
emotion.
I know. But if it serves you no good to be upset, why be upset?
But you,
No, I'm not surprised, but I'm upset, and I think, well, because everything you vote with your dollar, like we were saying, like McDonald's is feeling like a financial downfall from boycotts of their brand. Like you can do that, and that's probably the biggest way you can change things is not buying like
I think
whatever
also
products businesses supporting.
possibly part of it. I mean, it's not necessarily what you're asking, but like to be upset is also to be humane. Like I think that there might be. I would probably look at somebody who's like I'm not moved whatsoever and be like, well, there is something missing within you if you're not moved whatsoever. There's like I would be asking that person, like maybe you should be asking yourself, why are you not moved about it? That doesn't mean that you go and do something, you try to do something because that's a different thing. Like
That's the action.
Exactly. Like, and I'm just talking about pure emotion, pure like feeling to be upset. Am I shocked? Not at all. And would I think something would change? Long term, no. I think we just play different games. Like
Let's say
Maybe
short
that's
term.
where it may be a different question. Maybe because I was doubling back to what you said. I was like, where does the outrage come from? If you see the outrage, where does the outrage come from?
I think outrage works as a check. I do think that there's still generally some checks and balances that do happen in our society, specifically with the dollar, specifically with like what Josh was saying with like McDonald's and stuff like that. So I do think that you do need outrage because lack of outrage,
complicity.
Yeah, if there was a general, here's what I think: if you get to a general malaise and there's complicity, it makes it way easier for something like the U.S. to become North Korea, because it's like, well,
how far away is it?
I mean, it's hard to say because we don't really know. So I couldn't really answer
there is a lack
that.
of transparency in government, and I do think, I don't know for whatever reason, because both like Republicans and Democrats, certain factions are like pushing towards like a bit of a fascist, like all powerful government, even though like with conservatives, they want small government, but they want to regulate certain personal rights for some whatever reason.
Religious.
And I don't think that a lot of Democrats, whoever traditional blue folks, are also like on that same agenda. And I'm really curious why, because everybody thinks that the U.S. is known for like touting democracy, freedom, but I think that's just kind of like a byline, a slogan now, where they don't really think cognitively, or whatever the word is, they're not thinking critically of like, what does that mean? Because freedom for one person comes at the expense of someone else. Like freedom of consumers over here to get like good low prices and everything, that comes at the expense of someone else. And is that really like freedom? Is that really democracy? Because you're always oppressing someone.
To a degree, yeah. I mean, I do think that for someone to make money, someone has to lose money. It doesn't necessarily mean so cut and dry that looks like that. We're like, oh, if I made money, someone has to lose money. But there's some type of disparity that generally happens, especially the larger I get. Me right now as a person, I'm not taking too much. The larger and larger I get, though, in terms of
But I mean, you're taking away from at least one.
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying I'm not right now, but
be at least just
totally.
one. Just you working is taking away from just one other person having your job.
Well, I don't even have to say like just me working. It could be.
Well, I was just saying working.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be related to anything that I do.
Anything.
Yeah, it could be related to,
Well, what you were saying, because like you're working with like AI algorithms. I'm working with like
fucked.
in packaging. I'm trying to influence people to like buy a big corporation's thing or buy something that's, I've seen like all these products, even though we generally like, we won't take things from these really huge people. Like I'm trying to sell people something that's, looking at the nutrition of it, it's very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy, but like my design is like, oh, this is fresh. This is like organic.
Greens.
This is whatever. Or like the way it's presented. And it's like, I'm complicit
And that's
in something.
realistically where I get my whole like, I don't know what to do, because it's like at some point we all know we're complicit in the failure.
Yep.
So with that being said, it's like, I know that these small things will just help maybe my ego to feel better about a situation I know is going on. It won't really help anything on the grand scale, but my ego. So that's what I'm saying. By doing these things, are we only helping ego to so you can go on another day?
Probably.
Or is it just like, what is it that people feel like they have to be a part of something and be like, I am vocalizing and advocating for this, when they know they're also to the detriment?
That's a good question. So good. And I agree on the ego piece, which is why, like, I don't think people will talk ego deaths all day long. I don't think it's possible to kill your ego while you're still a human. I don't see how it would be possible. Like, you would then, if you killed your ego, you would die because you'd have no reason to exist.
Well, it would be like
you'd
have some paradigm shift of like, you're not going to be the same person.
But you would like, there'd be no you, there'd be no I, there'd be no me. Like so there'd be
like a true ego.
There'd be
death,
no
like
there'd be no necessity
you would become
to
basically
live.
like a messiah sense.
Yeah,
or what we've been prophesized to what they do.
It would be like a sense of beyond what we can fathom in terms of body and thought and being. So I do think, like, take karma, for instance. I look at things like karma and the reason why it was invented.
So
at some point, like taking the Buddhist idea of karma, there's like the idea of like, we're going to invent this thing because there is every single action I do causes something. I can have conscious action or unconscious action, and I think the idea is the scales are trying to rectify or pay off your karmic debt.
So it's as long as I tip the scale enough, just enough
consciously,
consciously, just enough to where I'm in the green, I'm okay.
But I don't know if it's like necessarily okay, but there's a sense of,
I can live with myself.
I think there's a sense of conscious action. Like I was saying last time, if you're walking and you step on an ant and you don't know, it's an unconscious death. It's not like you actually tried to kill that thing, right? So it's same thing. Like if you put gas in your car and unconsciously it does something terrible, it's like you don't know that. But at the same time, if you're like purchasing something like a blood diamond knowingly, like,
well, all diamonds are. So you buy a ring for someone.
So that's
you're not framing it in your head as, I'm buying my potential wife a blood diamond.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm buying my wife this mind diamond.
Mind diamond.
I'm leaving it at that.
It says certified. There's
leaving
this
it at that.
Totally.
Yeah,
and so I think
like
that's the difference.
Consciously buying like
one
whether
grown
it's
in
like
the lab,
like a lab grown
grown
diamond, or consciously doing this or that, like buying. Like I've tried to do it because like I don't think it's much more expensive. Like I'm trying to buy my produce from the farmer's market every weekend. it's a small step, and like I'm still complicit in many other ways of capitalism, like shoes, clothing, whatever. But like
totally.
small steps, like because you can't. Rome wasn't built in a day. Man.
Well, I also don't think that you can. I wouldn't expect
that.
any of us here to become
Fully self-sufficient.
Yeah, like I honestly don't think that that's like when people are like, "Oh, I'm going to go live off the land completely" and stuff like that. It's like, well, maybe you
But
will.
you still got to buy these tools. You got to buy the machinery, and
Yeah.
that's somewhere.
It's gotta get made.
And truly, you may
smelting it.
You maybe will. Like, I don't know. If you've been living 30 years dialed in and connected, and now all of a sudden you're saying you're never going to be connected, we'll see. I don't know. But
I would feel like you probably have like a water tank and solar panels.
100%.
So
If you have any type of electric,
X's
got
you,
cobalt,
that just
that's
X's
got
you right there.
lithium.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
X's you right there.
totally.
Like
As soon
know
as
what I
you
mean?
have some type of lithium or cobalt or
A belt, any kind of plastic, bro. That
Yeah.
just X's you.
But so that's where I do think it comes into the fact that there is like kind of scales that we do, and I do think that in the end is kind of paying ourselves in a way. Like,
So with that being said, if my scale is tipped in a way to where I feel I'm good, what does it matter what anybody else feels?
Well, it's
and that's
all
a
personal.
full on thing. Yeah, I would say then though there is some type of degree where you should have collective awareness. There is some, like collective consciousness. If you're saying, well, I'm okay, everything's good, and you also happen to be Jeffrey Epstein,
But that's exactly that.
Then-
Someone could say that.
then you are clearly
It's a sliding scale.
Then there's I think then there's clearly you either being you're unaware,
No, they're doing the same
consciously.
thing that we're doing
but
to the same degree. In a sense, I know it's not, but to
So-
a degree, it's the exact same thing.
like let's say for instance you go to work next week and your boss is like you have to get rid of all this stuff and you just go and dump it out in the field, and
I do that all the time.
Allegedly.
No, intentionally.
so then that's intentionally I would say you doing something where it's impacting something else.
Yeah, but do I think I'm gonna be the detriment to somebody when I do it? No. And do I ultimately care when I do it? No.
So like so now take that attitude that you have, and now let's say next week somebody comes to you and they clearly directly tell you the detriment that you're causing. It's then your choice to be like, do I think so? Is it going to affect me or no? And I think that's where it comes into play.
They've all told us if you dump oil, it's going to go into the ocean, right?
I mean, if you're dumping it into like a drain or something, yeah.
Who cares where you dump it? If it gets into the ground, you're going to get it back into us, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, the
I
Sahara
dumped it at your
Desert's
house,
pretty
so
fucking
I mean,
huge.
I guess eventually, yeah. it'll get
No,
to the
I'm just,
ocean.
I'm posing a...
But you get what I mean, though,
Oh,
to
no,
your
of
question.
course,
So
of
I
course.
just think, like, if you're asking, well, I feel good about myself, who cares if another person says? It really comes into play. How much do you care about what other people say and your connection to them? Some people don't care at all. Some people see it as a very small scale. Some people don't. I think about...
And that's all I'm saying. I don't feel like those people are living a better or a worse life by doing that. I don't know.
Well, that's
there's-
like just because we're so interconnected. Like everyone is under public scrutiny, no
Exactly.
matter how
Yeah.
small or big you are. But you have a certain level of awareness
But
or
that's
visibility.
why I just think it's always funny that we always have to, base of judicial, blah, blah, blah. We're going to judge you when we all do stuff that we're all fighting to counteract.
Well, yeah,
the fight.
I mean, I don't think like nobody is
But like almost
innocent
on like a daily basis.
unless you're
Well, you do. I mean, I put gas in my car.
I
drove my car.
you have a car.
I have a car.
Just-
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And I
have
get
shoes.
where you-
I have shoes from
I
China
get what you're
and
saying.
Cambodia,
it's the
and
steps and stuff, but I'm taking it from just the big ones. Like, well, it's like if we're fighting for this stuff if you're fighting for this once a week, but 30 days out of the month, 31 days out of the month, you go against what you're fighting for. It's like when you go to church. When I go to church on Sunday, does that absolve all my weekly sins?
No.
People feel that way, though.
but like,
That's
why
they
do
go
you
to church?
Why do you check in on your friends?
To check in, see if they're good.
So it's something that
you
you
care
care
about
about.
Yeah,
So you have a buy-in there
of course.
of care. Same thing with like if you wish somebody a birthday, check
course.
in. You're taking care of your dad, all that kind of stuff. Some might look at you and be like,
Strange.
"Why do you care?" So it's the same. So you play it. You're in that realm.
You're right.
It's just different actions. It's like Miss Corey, love you, God bless you. She does all my mom does a whole lot of stuff where I know is good. She continually buys plastic chairs that rot in the sun outside. I'm like, why do you keep on buying the same fucking plastic chairs that rot in the sun outside? It's just those things. You know what I mean? Like, at the same time, she works in the
Planet advocate.
Huh?
She advocates.
Well, but also like she works and helps teens that are when you're a foster and you're going to 18 years old, and so you're going on to work. She does that. So I do think that I don't think my mom's keeping tabs. I do think that there's certain people that actively keep tabs. Like I don't think you're being like, hey Sean, Josh, are you okay? I'm keeping tabs.
Those are the people like I would say like the Epstein's. When I pose the question, could he have done more good than bad? You know what I mean?
And and the measurement's so hard for us as outside.
Of course, but
world.
I'm just facetiously speaking. You know what I mean? It's hard because when you're just weighing the game in by yourself, like you said, we want to have a collective. But I feel like the people that have broken the matrix just think outside the collective. They've realized that the collective doesn't hold any weight.
I don't think though you can live outside the collective.
I mean, you can maneuver within.
I don't know if though, like,
or you could say you don't, but everyone does.
I think it's impossible.
Well, when I say, I'm not saying like out of the collective. I'm just saying thinking outside of the normal collective.
But it's so broad that it's like,
when you say thinking though, do you mean thinking in terms of like
just
challenging
right now,
status quo? Or
yeah,
are you
just say things that are illegal right now.
But that's not necessarily.
I know that's not necessary, but
you're not necessarily like, okay, let's just say for instance things that are illegal. Selling guns without registration.
Exactly.
So that's an easy one, I think.
It is.
There's nothing inherently bad or good about that. If you sell me a gun right now that's unregistered,
I can say that.
No, I'm just saying right now, like as what I feel. This is if you sell me a gun and it's unregistered, there's nothing inherently bad or good until I go use it for bad. If I never use it, it doesn't matter.
But people feel like I should never have the ability to sell it to you.
But that only would come up in the conversation after I would have done something. So I think like the collectivism portion, you never really kind of get away. You could think to yourself, oh, I'm away from it, but you don't know if you're ever necessarily away from it.
You can't be out of it.
Yeah, I feel like there's still always, and that's also one of the strengths and weaknesses of humanity is that one moment something is bad and then enough people say it's good and then it's good and then enough people say it's bad, like milk, like MSG, like grains and gluten and all those kind of things. Sugars.
Milk is weird though. Dairy milk is weird.
I mean, it is, but also you see athletes that drink their milk, and then you look at us.
8 feet tall.
There's a reason why they fucking enormous and we aren't.
It's weird.
Yeah, I haven't drank milk in a while, as you can tell.
Clearly. I'm guessing LeBron drinks milk probably.
No, he has protein, calcium supplements and stuff. He doesn't drink just milk.
Facts.
Okay,
He's engineered his routine.
He was raised on drinking milk probably though.
I'm guessing Arkin, Ohio, he was drinking milk, man. Boy, just put it.
Akron. You gave him the Arkham Asylum.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna let it slide.
You made it even worse.
Who's gonna fight for Ohio besides Mark?
Arkham.
Arkham Asylum.
That's an N. I thought it was ARKON.
It's Akron.
ARKAN?
AKRON. Akron.
See, I did. That's what.
Nobody's gonna fight for Ohio except for Mark.
Yeah,
so
you can have it.
I mean, what are they? The
spaghetti chili. I'm down for it.
God.
Bring it.
Never, ever.
It's a delicacy in the Ohio.
I mean, if people are rocking with Jollibee spaghetti, you can at least rock with chili spaghetti.
I don't know if I would trust the Jollibee.
I fuck.
You try it.
Is it all right?
It's fast food spaghetti. What do you expect?
I've never had fast food spaghetti.
Wait. Did you ever have Old Spaghetti Factory?
Yeah, unfortunately.
There you go.
That's like semi-fast.
I worked there. It's fast. I seen it.
He's like, we ain't never boiled a noodle.
See that work in the back. I'm like, there's just like a garbage can full of noodles that they just cup and scoop.
Oh, and they're already noodled up.
Done. Yeah. In the morning, they get noodled up, and they just keep on using the same noodles all day.
I think that's what every American should do in high school. Work a food job.
Who said that?
I did right now.
No, but who... I feel like a comedian or somebody said
really?
Yeah, every single person
weird.
like
They probably took it from me.
Okay, Theo. Sure, Theo.
No, I feel
think
like at least our food would be a lot better, or all of us would know what food not to eat.
Also, like you wouldn't spark off at someone like in
They're just
somebody's serving you food and you've served food before, chances are you aren't going to be like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, we were like, I remember that time I spit in that fool's food because he was yelling at me. Oh, I yelled at that fool.
Shit.
I worked. I made and delivered pizzas, so I. But just
What franchise?
I worked. Double Play. Shout out.
Oh, you was a
shit.
baller.
What you
They
mean?
were expensive
Yeah,
pizzas.
that's not
Well,
cheap pizza.
I ate it for free,
Yeah, but no, but you
So you were getting tips.
yeah.
and that they didn't. People didn't tip very well.
Rancho.
That was like, yeah.
It was like 20 years ago.
I was
Like, here's 25 cents, son.
15,
It's like $1.
20 years ago.
Yeah. They're like telling you to keep the change. It's 5 cents. Thanks.
But they're acting like it's something.
Yeah. You're
Well,
welcome.
that
You're
was
welcome.
that was before GPS. Like I had to look up on
You
a map.
had, did you have Thomas guides?
No.
You just wrote that shit down or something?
There was a giant map inside, and I was like, "We're here. This is there." So I have to go around. I take like Haven. I take a left on there. And I have to take the third left. Hopefully, I just have the address written down. And sometimes I'd write like, "Take this to this to this," but it's like you're taking maps.
People don't know.
I was circumnavigating the globe.
Circumnavigating Christopher Columbus over here.
Damn, you were just masters of the far side of the world out here.
Yeah, master and commander.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Those are the days.
Due east.
Yeah. This is a weird tie-in, but speaking of due east, Taiwan had that crazy strong earthquake.
How big was that earthquake? I didn't even.
7.5?
Holy shit.
7.2. Sorry, 7.2.
That's
That's
a big,
big.
earthquake.
Huge. Yeah, the strongest one they've had in 25 years or
Was
something
it
like
in
that.
the land or in the ocean?
It was out in the I think. No, maybe it was on land.
Well, they're an island.
Yeah,
nation,
so I don't know if it's
I think it's like
Anything is in the ocean?
it's pretty
Epicenter
much,
was just off of the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, so just off the East Coast. But like surprisingly, you have a 7 point whatever 4 or 2. Only 9 people that were unfortunately, of course, but 9 people died. And when you think about that big,
That's a
but
blessing.
I don't know if you saw the video though.
I didn't.
they're wild.
They're wild,
Everything
man.
was shimmy, shaking.
So I don't know. This is like the I don't know.
Was that the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Yeah, like and there's people are watching.
And that's after it happened, huh?
yeah, and you can watch the building. The building just drops.
Just
and,
dropped.
Yeah, and like it's like hanging over the street, but never like fully fell. It's crazy wild, and it really makes you wonder, like when it comes to our buildings and stuff. Like we have, of course, we have different earthquakes. I think their earthquakes are the ones that go under. The plates are slide
Subduction.
under, and ours are the one that goes side to side.
Ours has more friction, whereas that
Yeah.
like I think that makes sense because like things are tilting,
Yeah, you
whereas
can see
ours
the
is like a
fucking-
rumble, where theirs is like I don't know. I'm just
But then so that happened, and then like what was it? Like yesterday there was an earthquake
in New York. It was
New
a
York?
4.8 earthquake,
That's big
and there
in
was
New
like
York,
there
right?
was like little to no damage, but people were like shocked.
Shooken up. Well,
I
they don't
didn't
get
know they could
earthquakes.
have
No.
earthquakes.
I
Why
think
not?
it was the biggest
They got no
Usually-
earthquake?
Usually it's on the fault,
because the fault lines. It was the
Those are the
biggest
lies
one
they told us in second grade,
in
Sean.
Jersey in like however many years,
says
maybe ever in recorded.
Yeah, it was a 4.8 in Lebanon, New Jersey. God, Lebanon just can't take a break, bro.
Wouldn't it suck to be from Lebanon, New Jersey?
Shut up, Bill.
Or like
I don't
Paris,
know.
Texas?
Might not
I think
suck.
Paris, Texas would be the worst. Like, where are you from? Paris? Texas?
It was the third.
Not Paris, California. That's different.
Both-
Different
spelling. Different
Both
spelling.
suck.
It was the third largest earthquake recorded in the area in the last 5 decades, and the strongest in New Jersey in more than 240 years.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Felt by millions of people across hundreds of miles, from like DC to Maine to New York City.
I wonder if there's like a video of the buildings swaying, do you think? Like giant
4.8 though, like I don't think it's as visible as like you saw the footage from Taiwan. Like,
Oh, yeah,
that
it's
shit
crazy.
Was crazy.
Yeah,
That had some like had me thinking like Northridge type shit going on.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Yeah, I vaguely.
That was like 94, 92,
Or
94?
92 maybe?
Maybe 92.
Yeah, I was still living in Eagle Rock back then.
Oh, so you were close.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, like I
94.
look
94.
at. Oh no, I was in Rancho by then.
I just remember, so there I was, I mean, we were at,
But I felt it. I remember feeling it though.
We were all living in Rancho.
yeah, we were all living in Rancho. I remember seeing, like, it was super, super crazy, but I remember the videos of the freeway.
Freeway. That's all I remember.
Just collapsed, and you see
Collapsed.
like a semi truck hanging off.
Yeah.
Car, like,
I
off
just
of it,
saw
yeah.
a post on Instagram where it was like, photographs from the '94 Northridge, and like I was like, it was insane.
It was
Like that
intense.
looked like some apocalypse Armageddon type
Yeah.
stuff.
For sure. Yeah. I think also like that was probably the last earthquake that we had. I remember like his power went out. It was like strong enough to actually like the power to go
Cool
off.
stuff like that don't happen no more. Kids don't know nothing about being shooken up.
Well, because
That's why
that
they
wasn't
got
even
so
like,
different.
that wasn't even like because there's like what do they say, one every 500 years, like a 500 to 1,000 year earthquake. That wasn't even it.
Yeah.
like we're
Oh, yeah,
overdue
we've been
for
over that,
like
but they've
a
been
really
saying
bad
that.
one. But
They've been
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. It's
Literally,
like-
they've been saying
If
that.
we
When they
felt
made that
that-
movie 2012, when they've been saying that since then.
well, we've like because if we felt that one in
World
New York
been
or in
ending
Jersey,
forever.
that 4.8 one over here would be like okay, like that was
Whatever,
that
yeah.
was
There
chill.
was that chill one that happened.
The chill one, the one we all rode.
The one that happened out by you, like
Oh, yeah. That was like
a
a
month
4
ago
point
or
something.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was chill.
And it's like because I was sitting there and I just heard,
I heard it before you felt it.
yeah, and you're
We're
like,
vets now. We hear that shit before.
it's super fun. I know. You get like
Isn't they getting your-
Something's gonna
your spider
Beautiful
sense
mind.
starts tingling and stuff. You're just like,
Earthquake.
here's an earthquake. Pick up your drinks.
Nothing
All
changes.
right,
You
set them down.
just pick up your cup.
Just
That's it.
a-
You just
Yeah. All right. There we go. There
new
we
coffee.
go.
I don't want to waste it.
Yeah.
you just rock with it.
It is. I remember
Stay loose.
when I was working out in when we were working at the Brea Mall. I'm not Brea. Wait, what's it
On
called?
Cherry Mills.
No. The
Victoria
one
Gardens?
off La Brea.
Oh,
Beverly.
Beverly.
Thank
That's
you.
not La Brea. That's
No, it's not. Thank you. I knew it was a B, Beverly Center. I remember we were working there, and like almost every single one of my coworkers were transplants. And there was an earthquake that happened at the time, and it was like the most freak out moment they ever like had. I'm like,
They all just got back from Turkey.
and I'm like, yo, y'all like live in like Midwest with tornadoes. Like, how are you scared of an earthquake? That to me,
Because
it's
the Earth normally don't quake where they are.
no, it. But the sky comes down.
the sky
upon
falls, but the earth does not quake.
We don't got skyfall. We barely.
I mean,
get
that
rain.
shit. Cows are thrown into the sky.
That's natural.
I mean, it
them.
is actually, honestly, if you, true. Yeah.
I feel like the Beverly Center will definitely like just collapse
Crumble?
because that's just like a behemoth of.
It's
a
on
building.
rollers, though.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Cali.
Well, because you know that like behind it, I just drove by there yesterday. They pump oil behind there still. There's oil there.
Oh, yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
You
there
see
is.
it?
Also, when you come over the hills, shit.
If you're going up La Cienega, you see a bunch like
that's it.
next to Stalker Street.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate name. Unless, yeah. You know what's crazy, too, is that Northridge one was only a 6.7, and so this one was a 7.4.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they were much more prepared, even
And
if the
it's-
buildings were.
I'm sure that their buildings in Taiwan, though, were also. It seemed like they were newer and like the.
They're all made in China.
I mean,
That's a little bit of a
sore subject right there. Wow,
you
you
wanna
have
touch that
been
this
reading. You have, all right. I can see. Good.
I slip in
Good.
the funny stuff, when I can, when it's applicable.
When it's right.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, anything else to speak
I
about?
think we have this one RIP that you wanted you shared earlier.
Oh yeah, you wanna let everyone know the RIP of the store?
Oh no, my favorite establishment is being shut down, guys. The 99-cent store is no more.
When are they shuttering?
371 stores. They're gonna close them all down this year.
I want to go to that rancho and buy some do they got tote bags there?
Nothing's 99
tote
cents no more anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, $4.99.
Inflation.
$3.99.
Inflation.
That was when I knew it was going down, when they made it the 99 and more store.
Isn't it still? Is it called 9? Oh, no, it's 99 only. 99 cents only store. That's what.
Oh, is it?
Because it says the word "only" under it. At least that's what it
They
used
added an
to.
asterisk to all the.
I think they changed it. They went 99 and more.
And more?
Yeah. Times are hard.
Well, there was that one that has a little bit built-in cushion for inflation. It's called Five Below.
Oh yeah.
They gave him they gave him those $5 range.
Five Below.
We're good.
End up, in
Yeah,
parentheses
because
or
it's
something.
$5 below what?
They were like, we were
$5.
talking about Celsius, so actually,
When you convert that to
If you
Fahrenheit,
convert it-
conversion
Been
to
into
dollars.
Five Below?
No, I actually haven't.
Oh
I
my
have.
God. You ever buy anything in there?
No, but like you can buy the craziest things in there. I'm like, this
You
shouldn't
just buy
be.
something because I bought one thing in there and it didn't work.
Well,
What
that's
was
a
it? What kind of
shocker.
stuff is in there? Is it just like home goods?
Anything. I saw the funniest meme too. They were like, go to Five Below and buy headphones, and the dude put in the headphones, and it just sounded like somebody was talking through like a styrofoam cup. You're like,
Well, because it's like the death knell for all those types of stores, like R.I.P. Bed Bath and Beyond. They still exist.
They're
but
done?
like,
Oh.
yeah,
Well, kinda.
I think all the, or at least like,
They're pretty much all gone, but there's
where
still
am I
a
going to
couple
go get my
stores.
turkey basters to go make BHO wax?
You're not.
I haven't in a
Because
while.
you
Going
don't.
off Amazon.
Yeah, it's not something that you do. Do you think it's the end of the store of the retail store?
Ooh, end of retail?
Because I mean, like this is saying so. 99-cent store is closing all 371, and then that other one, that Dollar
general.
Tree or general?
Dollar Tree, or no, yeah, Dollar Tree owns the Family Dollar store.
Oh,
They're
okay.
closing 600 of its Family Dollar
God
stores,
damn.
and then the next few years, an additional 370 of them.
Oh, they shutting
So
shop.
basically, yeah.
Well, like those two, 99-cent store isn't even, but there's like two big ones, Dollar General and Dollar Tree. Those are the two big ones over
That
the,
one's.
the whole
I think that's going to die soon. I think it's flashing us on time.
time.
Says
Where
Dollar
the card would be-
General, which has
'cause that one
stores.
had less time. What's up?
Dollar General has 20,000 stores.
Jesus Christ!
That's more than McDonald's, I think.
Why?
More than Subway.
I mean, maybe not why. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's because they're really helping people out.
Well, I feel like these big value stores, like obviously grocery stores, whatever.
Giant like stores. I know like REI in Santa Monica got shut down, is closing.
Ooh,
And
that's been there for a while.
There's just some, and also it's got to be crazy expensive there in terms of how large REIs are and how much it must cost for the rent on that space. It just does seem like a lot of these things, it doesn't make sense. Do people really need a 99-cent store that's that big? Like, and 20,000 of them out in the
I would say
US?
probably it's a certain community that will frequent those rather than people like, I think an older generation maybe like
They're only
a
in certain communities.
Very true.
Maybe immigrant marginalized communities go there rather than like, maybe Amazon, that's not even an option for them.
Yeah, because there are certain places that Amazon is not, but then there's other places where like I think it's my aunt.
I filled you up.
My aunt, she lives with Amazon. Like she lives on it because every single week the groceries are dropped off because she can't go and do all that.
Accessibility.
Yeah, there's a crazy amount of accessibility.
That's been the detriment of our country.
Accessibility?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about like we want convenience, not necessarily accessibility, but convenience over everything.
Accessibility.
Yeah.
Do you think though there's like a level of accessibility, like there's accessibility to people that have a hard time, let's just say that you get into a certain age and you're in your golden years and you can't really move the same way and there's that accessibility.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not taking away the benefits from those people. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say there's that and there's using that, but now because accessibility is available now because those things are so accessible to everybody, like people who are able-bodied aren't doing the able-bodied thing anymore. It's like, yeah,
Just take it from the most basics. Like, people have way more options just for a couple nowadays, or just to meet someone.
yeah.
The options are almost way more than they've ever,
I mean, options is everything. Because like, if you take it to a capitalist sense, is like, how many choices for fucking peanut butter are there at the grocery store?
For
There's
real,
like,
dude, it's insane. And honey,
Options and accessibility have been our detriment.
it's a bit of an illusion for
although that is what America's based on. Like it is the land of the
Freedom of
free.
choice.
Yeah, you got the freedom. Like if all of a sudden I gave you state branded peanut butter,
Of course.
you'd be freaking the fuck out. Like,
And then that's what I'm saying. All those people, on the right side are like, it's like, well, it's accessibility, options,
yeah, I do always wonder. I'm like, you don't want government, but you do.
You want government in certain
But
instances.
You do. You don't want to be told what to do, but you kind of want to tell other people what to do.
What they can't do.
So there is
or what they can't.
Yeah, I do think accessibility is really wild. I mean, you touched on it a little bit earlier, and we don't have to get deep into that. But you know, part of my job right now, working with AI and AI scripts, and
AI is a script. It's all fake. I'm just kidding.
It's like reality.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, bro. Hate to burst the bubble, but I mean, part of it's kind of crazy because I'm making something that means something is more accessible, and by doing that, I'm dumbing shit down, knowing I am, for people, so it doesn't take the same type of quality or skills or level of expertise that once did to people, which therefore means that jobs are no longer needed for certain things. It's a weird, you know, like little, but I mean, that's why, and that totally
Stop
goes,
working so you can have a job.
well, it's also good. It also goes, but I mean, like that kind of goes back to the thing where I'm talking about, like, I don't know if brick and mortars in some ways make sense anymore. Like to while this is the way that we're working right now, I'm not saying it's gonna be forever, but like
It'll work in the senses that it has to work in. So for like
Home Depot.
stuff like that, I was thinking of like firearms.
Real necessities.
I mean, yeah, 'cause I guess you can't ship
necessities
those.
is
You
certain
can't.
thing, like-
you can't send those.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Home
can't-
Depot, like
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
don't like. I will like if I know it's from a certain brand, like I'll buy like a power tool, but like some people want to test it out,
yeah.
and then also like necessities like
I mean, like wood.
like food and guns.
No, but for real, it's like
Food though, you
But
don't
then like
food.
and then ultra high
a
end where
gas
they're
station will never go away.
where they're completely
True.
but like yeah, because there's
Well,
no
right,
there's
while
but
we
it's
have
like
while it's
gas.
gas.
it's one per yeah.
While it's gas.
While we have gas.
But then there's like where it's basic necessities versus extremely extreme luxuries. Like I think brick and mortar
the
luxuries
are gonna
luxury
be
stores
going
will
away.
always be there.
You mean real luxuries like Louis,
Hermes,
luxury,
whatever. Yeah, like, but not like a luxury like Zara is a luxury in that like
no.
that could like, but in between that, I think any of those are game. Of
Well, I would say like luxury in the sense of like Louis will stay around, but a Macy's could go away because a Macy's
Macy's
just,
has
Totally.
gone away. JC's
Yeah.
I'm
Penney's
saying
has
that's
gone
just
away.
a
Yeah.
box store that has a lot of different shit. They don't have Macy's clothes.
Correct.
They carry.
They do.
They have
Macy's
Macy's.
They
branded
have
clothes?
private. It's not Macy's, but like Brass Plum. Like shout out all the girlies out there. Like that's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Macy's
yeah.
brand, but it's
Yeah.
it's a
I get
private
you,
label.
Yeah.
I got
But
you.
like
But
yeah,
I guess like at the same time, it's not like Brass Plum store. Like
Exactly.
you're
That's
not
what I'm
going.
saying.
It's like a
you're not
section.
going
That's
to,
what I'm-
yeah.
a
that's what
section
I'm
that becomes
Yeah.
a brand. But like yeah, but like we've seen like Macy's is not the draw it once was. Macy's used to be a luxury store, but now it's like almost to where like I don't even know if most people know, but like Mervyn's, JC Penney,
shout
that
out
was like
Mervyn's.
accessible.
Yeah.
Miller's
Yeah,
Outpost?
Miller's Outpost. That was like cool.
But what's also kind of wild is
Anchor Blue.
like I think it's also depends on what
Shout
you
out.
do with the space, because then you can do something like Ross, which they're still around,
Because they just keep going lower and cheaper.
well, they
Well, it's
aggregate from and consolidate from other brands,
and they're specifically in certain demographic, like certain areas, of course. But when you walk in, every single area in that whole place is used. It's filled up with so
it's
much
filled with
fucking
shit.
clothes. Like you know, and like that's
very
what-
efficiently used.
That's why it's weird when you walk into a Macy's and you're like, there's so much empty space in here. It's so enormous. Like I don't need to buy an appliance and a bed and my clothes, like that kind of thing. I don't
well,
see
like
as
malls are dying, and that's
Yeah.
a sign from it. Like
except for you said, and then we can wrap it up. You said that IKEA was popping when you went.
it was very poppin'.
I can see like stuff like that.
because it's
though.
an
It's like,
experience too.
beyond that, it's like I need a lamp. I kind of need to see.
But and then
Correct,
the
correct,
space is
correct,
used
yeah.
very efficiently. Like
Yeah.
there's
You know what I
everything
mean? It's
everywhere. Like
I need
every
a couch.
surface.
I kind of want to
And you can sit on it,
see
the bed,
couch.
There are certain things you do
the
want
pillows,
Yeah.
the tablecloths.
Yeah.
You could like the whole thing is you could touch everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's that stuff will always because it's kind of like the Carvana thing is like hasn't taken off because people are like I want to fucking test drive.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
kind of
mean,
want to. I kind of want to see options.
Even if it is just around the
the-
block.
yeah,
Like I still got to do it.
I think that's
Principle
almost
of it.
like shout out. Like I have
It's a
never
smart
bought
idea.
Well, I was gonna say, but CarMax did it one step more because you can do everything that Carvana does. They'll drop it off to you, and you get 30 days.
30 days. Yeah,
And so it's like
because they got big enough to be able to do
that, and there's enough of them around. Yeah, stuff like that. You what you just said's funny because I was like just thinking in my head. I was like, bought my mattress online, bought my couch online.
But that's what they're
bought my desk
conditioning us
online.
for.
But also at the same time, I bought those things and like, you know.
You were buying them thinking it's not a forever thing.
Correct. And I'm not correct. Exactly. Because I was like, not that this
It's
is like
I need this
highbrow
now.
thing, but the stuff that I really want, I want to go and I want to.
You bought
The luxury,
You're willing
like,
to buy stuff.
a piece of like
Luxury.
Stuff
luxury.
you're willing like that to buy online is because I need it now,
And I know I'm not going to keep this forever.
and I know I don't want to spend that much
I'm
money
not
on
trying
it.
to spend $1,500 on this thing right now. Yeah. And once this once this couch gets a stain, I'm not going to die inside.
It's like at that point, it's a $700 mattress. They're all the same. It's not a $3,000 mattress.
Yeah. Doesn't have the fucking buttons and whistles and
They
shit.
all come in a box.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to do your shout out and then roll it out?
Yeah. Shout out Marlene. Shout out Aaliyah. Shout out Courtney. Shout out Neil. Maybe see you in a
I
little
thought
bit.
you were going to shout out the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Dodgers. Baseball season, baby. Showtime. Joe Kelly. Shout out Joe Kelly. Yeah, that's all I got for right now. What about you?
Fuck the Dodgers.
Shout out Rye Dry. Appreciate you, bro. Love you.
No reason.
It's good to he's
Oh, you saw him.
No, I'm gonna see him, but it's just always good. You know, I like to fuck with real good people, so I appreciate you, bro. You know, because we did his bike and we didn't charge him anything, so he went and got my boss like a dope ass flannel from K&N. That's like a
that's
special limited one.
Dope.
And gonna bring us lunch. I was like, you don't gotta do that, dude. But
See, that is a person doing good things, not in case of anything. He's not trying to rack him up, but
Doesn't need to.
consciously good things.
that's why I said I only fuck with people like that. Like I feel like I move like that. But hey, I say wild things.
Offset. That's your carbon offsets right there.
You know, duality.
Brazy offsets.
That'd be hilarious. You have your carbon footprint, but now there's a new one. It's like Trey's footprint, wild and out footprint.
Wild and out,
How much
yeah.
wild shit do you say? Yeah. Oh shit! Shout out to my parents. They're not ever gonna watch this, but 45 years of marriage.
Ooh.
Yeah. That just happened last week.
No,
Crazy.
shout out Sean's parents. They basically were like my surrogate step parents.
The surrogate for a few other people, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're good people. Shout out to Casey and Jessica. They were out in
Saw the lights.
They saw
Alaska.
Yeah, they went to Alaska. Saw the lights, man. Saw the lights. Saw some real deal reindeers. I think they went on like a real husky mush.
A husky mush.
I did a Rondak.
Remember that movie?
Which one?
Balto?
Iron Will.
There's a
Balto.
few.
Balto.
The animated one.
I remember Iron Will.
That was the live action one.
Yeah. Oh, Balto was a
Animated.
Dude, the dog, yeah.
I never even saw
Iron Maiden.
Balto, but I
Is
knew
that what you
Balto.
just said? Shout out Arsenal, top of the league.
Where's my
Aston
where's my
Villa's
villains
in
at?
fourth. They're in
Solid
fourth.
at fourth.
Have
Yeah.
you watched the Netflix thing about whatever team? Is it Arsenal?
No, they have one on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Which one? Netflix has one?
Netflix has a new one about it's like the evil team or the team to
Man
hate
U?
or something like that. Is it Man U? It's whatever team Holland's on.
Oh, Man City.
Man City.
Ooh.
So it's
Yeah.
about their last season. They had a camera crew on their whole last season, following them around for the whole last season.
I gotta say, Netflix has done some impressive moves recently.
They're taking
They
over.
kind of doing some impressive moves recently.
Well, they have the budget for whatever they want to do. So,
They are making casuals like shit off of Netflix.
For
but
sure.
it's like, is it like, are they still going to make a show that everybody likes and then cancel it after 2 seasons?
Yes, because we've already got the
They can.
fan to golf for F1 now. Who cares? You know, we'll just make a new show because we're in the.
But those ones, like the ongoing reality-based shows, like those lower budgets.
Yeah, I know.
The licensing is but like,
And they hit.
and it's low
Like every
overhead.
girl loves to
compared
watch The Love Is Blind.
Oh, yeah.
my God, I
I watched.
I watched
Do you
Love
see
is Blind season 6.
do you see the girl get left at the altar?
Oh,
Yeah, was that season 6? The most recent
Chad or
one?
whatever. Somebody
The girl that with
was it Chad?
it was the black couple.
I don't know because I didn't watch. I
Yeah.
just didn't hear about it. But the
Dude, that
left
show
her.
is wild.
I know, it's wild.
It's so funny, man. Like,
know.
and like I know half of it's probably scripted. But
Yeah, how much?
goddamn,
How much is sincere of like you're going the show because I want to find true love.
I don't know, but that shit was fucking my mind. I kept on asking Laura. I was like, wait a second, they've only known each other for a week. Yes, for a week.
Yep.
For 2 weeks, they're in love. This is it. Like, how does
It's like, this is so
I
toxic.
can't
Well,
put
they were
this
talking about it,
toxic.
and basically it's like, so it is a reality show, more or less.
for sure.
It's like an 8-week endeavor. You get paid $1,000 a week, and I think if you get married, it's like a $10,000 bonus.
That's like not
And
even
I'm thinking
much
too,
money.
if you
It's
get
not, but-
no, but I think if there's something about if you get married and you stay together, there must be something, because they have the couples that are still together come back, and it
Yeah,
feels
for previous season.
And that's
it
what
feels so culty at that point. I'm like, this feels.
I only got on though
creepy,
because
bro.
the internet was turning on the guy or whatever who left the girl at the altar. Like, what a scumbag! And, and I guess his like contracts came out, and it's like he's kind of like contractually obligated if he proposed to her to at least be
Yeah,
at the
you
wedding.
kind of have to.
You have to,
Yeah.
or else like you're in like breach of contract.
Yeah, there was. I mean, like, it's just funny. There was this one chick who said that she looked like
Megan
Megan
Fox?
Fox,
I
and I'm
seen
just
her,
like,
and it was
poor
like-
girl. I'm like, you don't look like
More
her.
like
And
Megan Trainor.
damn, you really should. I thought she looked kind of Adele-ish. I was like, you should have went with Adele. Like, he would have been like, oh yeah, Adele. I can see it, 100%.
Fat,
Just
thick,
different bodied, not Megan Fox bodied.
skinny.
Yeah, that'd be skinny. Yeah. But I understand why people watch shit shows,
It's fun.
and you don't have to listen at all.
You turn your brain completely off.
Completely.
You know what's funny is you actually have you watch a lot of the same like stuff as the average like
Yeah,
woman.
I know.
Reality shows, true crime, docs.
Yep. I've been molded. Remember, I was with the ex for a long time. I didn't have choice.
Or you
He forfeited the choice.
forfeited your choice.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I'm
more,
saying. Now
that's
I
more
like
like
that.
it.
Now, yeah. Now I like it.
Yeah,
Now it's fun.
that's how he
It started with Jersey Shore.
Well, everybody loves Jersey Shore, man.
never watched it.
I love the shit out of that shit.
I love Jersey Shore.
I remember I went to
Who was
Vegas.
your character? Were you the situation?
I was a Vinny doc. I was
He was a
Vinny
Vinny guy,
doc because
yeah,
he's like
he's
he's a
sensitive,
real working man, real like you know
He's in
not
tune.
trying-
Yeah, he's in tune with himself.
I like
not like Ronnie.
well, Ronnie has that moment like
The meathead man.
the what's it called? Like, oh, I know that like that one letter that they wrote like Ronnie was flirting with this thing. Like, that will forever be like a meme, you know.
Oh my God, Sam just took a lot of shit from
Sammy
him.
Crazy.
Who's the hottest?
Was there?
I like
Jay
I like I don't remember. I feel like
Angelina.
I don't. They call it kind of all mesh. I know it's not Snooki or Jay Wow.
Oh,
I think they
the
were
one
just
with
like
the D? Not
they
the one
were
with
they were
Dina?
just like in there for like not the whole series.
Oh,
or
like an
something.
Angelina.
I don't know, maybe. But like I liked Pauly D.
Of
like
course,
him.
he was the best.
He's
It's
a
like
DJ.
easy breezy.
Easy, just hey, cabs here.
I never knew
GTL.
GTO.
because I never watched it. I never knew that like Atlantic City was a thing. Like I didn't know that that
Atlantic.
Atlantic.
And
I didn't know Jersey.
the boardwalk got taken down with the what was it?
Hurricane Sandy.
Sandy. Yo.
Sandy.
Sandy.
I went to
Sandy.
for New Year's Eve. Shout out Neil, you remember? Went with Jeremy Binion.
What?
J-Bone.
And we just got like we had a night.
Oh,
and I ended up
about
like
right.
I blacked out. I ended up I woke up the next morning curled up in front of somebody's hotel room that wasn't my own. And I remember the night before I was like knocking. Nobody was I was
my
like, damn, I probably
God.
terrified somebody.
They're like, don't answer the door.
And the next
the door.
the next day we spent like 8 hours just all hungover watching Jersey Shore. Like in our Vegas hotel room. Shout out. Great night.
GTO. Take some grenades for the boys. All right, take us home.
Tanks, but no tanks.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Israel.
What?
Tanks.
No.
That's what you said.
Yeah, but that's not what that means.
No tanks.
Okay.
Correct.
Tanks but no tanks.
Let's keep on going.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for all your likes, comments, subscription. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a comment. Maybe even insult us even. Like, you know, Trey's thick-skinned. Me, not so much. Sean,
I don't know.
he can go either way.
Yeah.
You can reach us on all your popular DSPs. We're almost up to date, I believe.
Just one episode.
Catch us on all the
But by the time this airs,
social
it'll be up.
platforms of your choice: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, at Almost Never Pod. Thank you guys. We'll see you next episode. Peace.
Later.